This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is sponsored by yours truly, Matt Norn of Remax Bell Park. For all of your real estate needs, call me 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Oh, I gotta turn this one. There we go. There we go. Hey, welcome to the Community Workbench. This is Matt Norn and not Kyle. Kyle is out today. One of his daughters has an injury, softball injury, so he was taking care of that. And hopefully we see him again next week. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. And at the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And since we had a cancellation, we have Adam Rondo,
all right,
owner of Chubby Dog Coffee.
when everyone else fails, Adam's here to just pick up the slack. I got you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for the beer.
Give him free beer. He goes anywhere.
That's all it took. You showed me one can, you're like, yoo-hoo, and I was like, yes, sir. See you at 6.
By the way, Adam's pronouns are buys, tries, and shoulders.
You know how much it annoys me that the joke, like around whenever I do anything that is not drop the F-bomb and not wearing a tank top, everyone's like, I didn't know you had a shirt with sleeves. Oh, you got me.
Come on, I did something different though,
No,
right?
no.
That was a little different.
It's the same premise. It's the same exact routine. Oh, I didn't know you had a shirt that didn't have.
I didn't say that.
At some point tonight, it was gonna. I bet you were gonna make that joke.
No, I just.
How many tank tops you own, Adam? Do you have any T-shirts? Do you even know what a jacket is? All the time.
Well, I've seen you in other clothes, so I wasn't
True.
really thinking that. I just you do often wear tank tops,
I do often.
and I thought I would make at least one
Thank you. Thank you.
semi-funny comment.
Now I want to put a jacket on and just sit here with my arms folded. I want to give it the satisfaction.
Feel exposed.
Like just zoom in on them. You might as well.
It's there forever.
Hey everyone,
It's already
no
exposed.
sleeves. Yeah.
See, even when I wave, I feel like I jiggle more. So
I can if you just look. Let it go. Ugh. I'm going to the gym after this.
yes, go to the gym all liquored up. That's always good,
I hear it's good for you. These are the good carbs.
right?
Is that not what science taught you?
The good carbs.
Yeah.
Carbs that come from.
Vegetables.
I was thinking carbs that come from Black Pond Brewery.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yes, we are drinking their Moose IPA from Black Pond Brews. If you have the chance, get out there and buy some beer.
Which is what I'll be doing at the gym.
Amazing.
So see, the
Maybe
can motivates me.
we can just go do calisthenics there. Oh, they're not open on Mondays.
Oh,
But
we can use our patio. That's fine. We'll have footage for tomorrow.
that's funny. So you have two locations in Putnam and in Danielson.
Yeah.
Two locations, one in Putnam, one in
Putnam.
Danielson.
That makes
yes,
more sense.
yeah, I'm such a good speaker.
You good talk good.
Good talker.
Yeah.
Do you want to just shout out the addresses so they're kind of like in the
Yeah, both are on Main Street. It's 164 Main in Putnam, and it's 144 Main in Danielson. It might. I think I've finally solved the issue with Google. They kept putting me at 138, and I was like, nope, it's this. And they went, you mean 140? I'm like, I don't. I mean the number I gave you 7 different times. And they go, can you prove it by going outside and making weird videos? I had to actually bring the key and put it in the lock, filming my hand going into the lock, turning it, opening the door, watch it be pushed open. I had to then walk behind the counter and go to the console that we have for like taking orders and put an order in to prove I could access all of it. And they were like, fine, 144. And I'm like, thank you.
This is Google.
This is Google. This is how you get your business page up. It was wacky. But they finally did it. So I think it's 144 now on Google. But that is the address. We're right across from Bank Hometown and Danielson Surplus. We're right there.
Yeah.
And Little River Bread Co. is next to us. CrossFit Underdog is right next to us. We're right there.
And CrossFit Underdog is coming on next week.
Ooh, Amy?
Yep.
I love her.
So
She's the best.
yeah, that'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
And
She better plug me. I just plugged her. So
La-
hear
la-
that, Amy?
well, actually, at the end of this episode, I wrote down that you're right next door to Chubby Dog. That
Oh, perfect.
they're 146 Main Street in Danielson.
Well,
right
allegedly, let's
next
ask
door to
Google.
Chubby
They know better. So
Right.
yeah, it was a real pain to get my address
That-
correct on there.
That's wild that they would have. So you were talking to a human being?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So
No,
you had to
when you
talk
just-
to AI
You
about all
just
this?
submit it to them, and then they think it over. Whatever it does, the AI thinks it over, and then it just goes, "Nah, we're good." You're like, I'd really like you to change it. It'd be same with hours. I've submitted hours over and over, and it just is the same thing. You send it to them, and then it shows what it was, and then it's crossed out, and then it's the new hours you gave them, and they go, "Well, think about it." And then it just may or may not change. You don't know. And then you just look back on it. It's like, why does it still say I close at 4? We close at 9. And they go,
jeez.
no, you don't. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Google. Guess we don't.
Yeah.
It's constant. It's so difficult to change things with Google. I don't know why.
And speaking of your hours, so like what's your schedule like for the week? Because I know you have different nights,
Oof.
different gaming nights.
Yeah.
Would-
I gotta look up
You
my
have to look it
calendar.
up.
We got, June
Sorry,
is a busy
Take
one.
your time. Oh, really? Oh, well, that's special events. We can get to that later. I was just
Oh,
thinking,
perfect.
in general, like your Monday nights are
Yeah. So
Tuesday, your Monday. Or
Putnam's easier. Every day we close at 5, except Thursday. Thursday night is Nerd Night, so we're open till 9 in Putnam on Thursdays. Nerd Night's just open to whoever wants to go and just do whatever you want to do. Just be nerds, have fun, hang out. We all like the same stuff. Let's go. And it's now more beneficial because Putnam does not have alcohol, whereas Danielson does.
Mhm.
So the Putnam Nerd Night is more like you don't drink or you're not 21 yet. Go hang
Okay,
out with
yep.
like-minded folks in a scene where you can.
right,
You can also in Deburg, but just it's better off there. So then
Gotcha.
Danielson has the liquor, so we're open late more days of the week, obviously for that.
Yeah.
Our hours, the earliest we close is 5, which is Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and then every other day of the week it's 9 o'clock at least, possibly later. So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're open till at least 9, possibly more, depending. If there's a cool event, something. If we're busy, we're staying open. Is pretty much the
right.
the motto. If we're making money, the doors are open. I'm not gonna kick you out when you're like, oh, I actually want to buy 8 more drinks. I go, it's 9 o'clock. You gotta get out of here. I don't need your. I don't want that. So yeah, it's a good time there though.
Yeah. Did you hang up that Ninja Turtle towel yet?
No, because I'm still waiting to find my White Ranger one. I have a white Power Ranger one. I want to have it on either side behind the bar where that big Chubby Dog poster is. I
Oh,
want
okay.
the Ninja Turtles on one side and the Power Ranger on the other, so it makes a cool little
Yeah.
thing. Because I like held it up to look, and it just looks like I have a dirty towel on the wall. So it's like if we have both, then it looks like it was a purposeful decorative
Right,
choice,
right.
and not just someone goes, "Why is there a towel up there?" And you go, "It's part of a series. There's more coming."
the tapestry.
Yeah. Like, no, towel. And I go, tapestry. It sounds more like it was meaningful.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a White Ranger, like a White Power Ranger one from when I was a kid that I
Mhm.
want on the other side of it. I think it'll look
That's cool.
nerdy and cool, or it won't, but I don't care because,
It's Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers.
yeah, I
It's
like those things. If you don't go away.
It's actually funny because it's like that was like the first, all the debates you get into as you grow up. There's Ford and Chevy. There's, yeah, Democrat and Republican.
Sox
Like,
Yankees, Bob.
Sox Yankees. Yeah, all those stupid debates.
Never got into any
And-
of those.
well, there was Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers was
Mhm.
like a big one when we were kids. So
Power
that's funny.
Rangers. All day. All day.
Because typically a Power Ranger lover was like at least 3 to 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, I'm 37.
So, and I'm 42.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
so-
be 42 at the end of this month.
And like I liked the Turtles. I had all the old VHSs. We had all that stuff. I still
Yeah.
liked it, but it was, I was it was 94 when they dropped. So I was 6 when the Power Rangers hit, TV. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the demo they were shooting for, and
Yeah.
it worked. You're like, cool. Everyone has a different color suit. There's monsters and weapons, and they're all doing karate.
Right.
Let's go.
Well, that was my first action figure was Leonardo, and I was like first grade, whatever when that came out, and then the collection just
Sure.
went from there.
Yeah.
Like
2 swords, awesome.
yeah, I still have the big collection. I wonder how much it's worth to like
Depends on how meh it
I
looks.
wonder if I could get it sold to this gaming bar on Main Street in Danielson. Maybe they'll put it all on display.
He would consider. Or you could just donate.
I
Support a
donate.
small business.
I already gave him a taste of the towel. I mean tapestry.
Yes, yeah, please. I don't take dirty laundry. I will take your cool nostalgic towels if you wash them first.
Did I wash it? I don't know.
I give it a. It doesn't smell like Matt, so I think you're good.
How will you remember me?
I'm gonna rub it all over you like I'm introducing a new dog to mine. No, you put his scent on it first. You bring it to the bar for a couple of days. You let everyone else get used to it. That's how you bring him in.
That's perfect. No, I like my collection went like the sewer layer,
Nice.
Ninja Turtles,
Mhm.
and then Technodrome where they connected.
Yeah.
And then like almost all the action figures. Like
Of
I
course.
had a bunch of them. So
The 38 different versions of Shredder they made.
yeah, with
Yeah.
38 different versions of everything.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
like the Transformer ones even. They had
Yeah, they really did some
weird ones. There, you can't just make the 4 basic ones
No.
and make any money. You
You
have
had
to
to.
keep selling, keep coming out with different products.
What was the villain? The one with the brain in his stomach? What was his name?
Brain.
That's right. It was the 80s. I
they're
forgot.
they're pretty.
Like, no, we can actually just call him that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brain or the Brain, and then there was like Bebop and Rocksteady,
Yeah, those I remember.
and then the Foot Clan.
Yeah. And they always talk like they had a really hard Brooklyn accent for some reason. Like, Toidles. And you're like, why? I know they were like
Well,
from
the-
a city.
The movies put them in New York
I
City.
guess that, yeah.
So I don't remember the cartoon being anything like what it
Maybe not.
like saying what they were or what they weren't.
I just know that accent. You were like,
Where they're
well,
from.
all right, that's how rhinos talk.
Yeah, I, didn't-
That's-
I
they're
really didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
when I was a
I'm gonna
kid.
get you, Toidles. Like no one says Toidles, but they're like, no, Rocksteady and Bebop do. Shredder doesn't. He doesn't. He talks like a samurai.
Yeah,
But
right.
his two henchmen, straight Brooklyn. You're like, yeah, no, that makes total sense. It was awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know, like lapses in the stories of how they became
don't worry
whoever or
about
whatever.
that.
Yeah, when you
That's-
think about it later on, in life,
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah, but when you're 6, you're like, I don't need backstory. I just
yeah, yeah.
Zordon
or
just picked
it doesn't
5
need to
kids.
make sense. There's
it didn't have
action
to.
scenes. There's action scenes. You see this?
all it was. As long as the Power Rangers were in their suits and they were just fighting putties, I was like, I don't care what you do, this rules. All of it. Did Zordon kidnap 5 teenagers and go, you're fighting a space witch now? They're like, all right. It's like, I don't care that that's what he did. Good. That's awesome. Go
Yeah.
Zordon.
It is funny how many like action stars and action movies there were back then, and how little there are now as far as that. Like
Yeah.
you had like Terminator, which then everything that wow, I can't, Schwarzenegger did
Oh.
was like an action movie. You had Van Damme, you had Stallone, you had like all these action.
all the good
Maybe it's too old for you.
stuff. No, I used to love the old Rockies. I loved
Yeah,
them.
Rocky. Yeah.
Until 5 was like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, the ones he did recently were a little bit Rambo and Rocky. Like, you should have stopped at the trilogy.
Yeah. You did enough. Rocky 4 was, you were like, this is still good. You're still killing it. I like the whole like we're fighting for America. I get it. Cold War. It made sense.
Yeah,
And then the 5th one where he's like is that the one he like retired and he has like a restaurant
yeah.
and he just walks around at tables and goes, knocked him out.
I don't
What?
really. I don't even know if I saw that one. I remember people telling me don't
It was
see it. It might
hot
ruin it.
It was.
I do
terrible.
remember the Rambo one where he's like in Thailand, like a tin knocker or whatever, and these guys from Special Forces in suits come out just to have like a 10-minute conversation with him, and then they leave. And I'm like, when you think about that, and like that wouldn't happen. They would have sent him a letter or called somebody from that unit that was near him or whatever.
It's, yeah,
So,
they're like, how far can we stretch this? Because we're gonna just keep going.
yeah.
But also, like back then, it wasn't social media driven. Like everything that was made was like, no, you have to go to the movies. You have to make a night of it.
Oh yeah.
And if you miss the movie, you have to wait till it comes out on VHS to go rent from a place to like.
Yeah.
Everything had to be. This is the night. We are
Yeah.
seeing this thing. It's an event. Everyone has to because there is no. Oh, I missed it. Oh, hold on, let me just look it up on YouTube. You couldn't do that. So it's like
Right.
when the new Rambo comes out, everyone's like, well, the other two are great, so this one must be.
Oh yeah, and then you're going to the.
And then you go with the
then
expectation, and you're like,
20 years later, we're like, the sequels on most movies kind of stink, huh? It's tough to-
just got into this with at Chubby. We were talking about all the Jurassic Parks and how one's the only good one, but that like 2 and 3, depending on how old you were when they came out,
Yeah.
you accepted. You were fine. And it was the same with like the Star Wars, the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3. It's like if you were in your 30s or 40s already and you were at opening day of A New Hope, and then the prequels are out and you're 33 and you're like, what is you hated it. But like episode 1 dropped in 99. I'm
Yeah.
11. So for me, as soon as Darth Maul rips out that second side of lightsaber, I'm like, this is the greatest thing that's ever been on a TV screen ever. And I love Star Wars so much. And you kind of miss like, oh, Jar Jar Binks really does ruin the whole thing. Every word you're like, oof, this is atrocious. But like it was so based on your age when everything came out. Again, same with the Jurassic Parks. It's like I liked 2 and 3 when I was a kid because it's just like, oh, dinosaurs. This is awesome. I just like seeing a T-Rex or a Spinosaurus. It's just cool.
Right.
But then you go back and you're like, the whole bit of the third one is you hear the cell phone ringing in a dinosaur's stomach. Get out of here.
See, I didn't see that one.
Oh, they 2 stunk so hard that they're like, for 3, like let's bring back Dr. Grant. Let's get Laura Dern back in. Like, let's get all the people that you love about it and just throw them in the movie, please. And it still was just hot garbage. And then all the new ones, these Jurassic Worlds are just, I hated them from as soon as they're like, we made a new dinosaur and it's bigger and spookier than ever. And you're like, you shouldn't have to make a dinosaur to make me want to see dinosaurs. A real T-Rex, if that bores you, you're a sociopath. It's a T-Rex. We don't need the Megalosaurus Domus Mutinous Rex. I don't need a scientifically made dinosaur to go, we got to go see this. We got to see what the Supersaurus Rex says because it speaks English somehow and can do basic geometry. And you're like, what is that?
Does it really?
I don't know. It might as well have Chris Pratt on a dirt bike running with velociraptors, and the raptors give him like a look like, sup, bro? No! That's not. He would have been mauled. He doesn't just jump in the pit and put his hand out. He's like, oh, Blue. Hey, Blue. And the raptor's like,
oh, so they're
guys,
like his pets in this one?
Yes,
Oh
can.
my God.
He talks with them, and they're like, no, guys, he's one of us. Don't worry. Like, the raptors accept him. I'm like, no, they wouldn't. The first one thought it's anything. He got eaten. He was so close, and he's in the woods with a shotgun, and Clever Girl comes out and kills him. That's what will happen. You weren't talking to them, Chris Pratt. Don't do this. It was so bad. Hated them.
Adam, you really don't know how the dinosaurs acted because we weren't alive when it happened.
You know,
right?
Matt, I forget sometimes. That's true. It's who is to say that you couldn't just put your hand out and go, whoa, Blue, and every raptor goes and just loves you now.
Would we go like 5 minutes before you had your first rant? All right.
That's a record.
Cheers. One other thing about like the movie industry that is kind of tough for me now is that like we don't have cable and we don't see like the movies that are modified for cable. So my kids haven't seen any of the, like we saw all the diehards when we were like 12 because they cut out all the bad parts.
Cool parts.
All the parts that made it rated R.
Yeah.
So now like I feel like my kids aren't like seeing these classic movies.
No, I mean,
Especially around Christmas, I have to find my own space to go watch Die Hard.
I mean, you're letting them down by not introducing them to that. But yeah, it's so weird to think again, and I mean, even just in like the 90s, the like appointment watching. Like I can't imagine like shows now like going back that you can watch Sopranos, Seinfeld, all these shows that now are just you can stream
whenever.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like I can't imagine missing one of those because you only get the next week when they run the last week's episode before the new one.
Yeah.
That's it. You have 2 chances to see it.
Yeah.
If you miss the end of the Sopranos, the next day at work sucks because everyone's gonna be like, "Screen went black." You're like, I don't know what that means. Well, I just saved you an hour and a half of time because, boy, is it just abrupt.
My wife brings that up a lot with the kids because they'll give us the, we have to pause it. Like, we're like, you're lucky you can pause it. Like,
you don't understand that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. It was like, just like, You don't understand. Like commercial, you have to jump over the sofa.
That's pee, get snacks, get drink.
Yeah,
Commercial
exactly.
break.
Feed the dog,
Yeah.
whatever chore you were putting off.
You do it in the 2.5, 3 minutes in between, and then you have to get right back.
Yeah,
And
and then you miss it. And then like if you're out for the night or you start sports and you miss the whole TGIF lineup, and
whole thing.
you might see it over the summer. There's no guarantee though.
Yeah,
and that's it. So
it's wacky to think that you just didn't have the ability to go like, oh, what happened on last week's episode of Game of Thrones? Let me just
right.
check.
Yeah, they
That's
can
so
always just bring
insane.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird to think that was just normal. Like Blockbuster was just normal,
Right.
and I miss it more than anything. But
Yeah, it definitely there's something to it. Like when you first get your license to like take somebody or your buddies and you just go rent movies and buy candy because you have like
Yeah.
spending cash or whatever from your first job or whatever.
or even like malls. Like I get a weird sense of, I think it's sadness when I see malls. Like, because that was when we were 16, 17, had no money, but we had vehicles. It was like, all right, everyone give me $5. That's for gas.
Yeah.
Get to the mall. All we're going to do is just walk around and hang out, I guess. And that's all we did. And it's like, that was
You spent some money on Hot Topic. I know it.
I still do. That's not the
I know.
point. Where do you think all those Green Day shirts are coming from? That's actually what brought that up was exactly that. I went because I just went to go see Avril Lavigne, so I wanted to go get some, obviously, sexy swag so she would recognize me and we'd get married. And,
How'd that work out?
well,
Did it happen?
we mutually decided it was better for both of us if she continues to tour and be famous and awesome and I go back to this life. So that was our mutual agreement as two humans that definitely interacted. And I love her. Avril, I love you
I
so
don't
much.
mean to laugh. Yeah, because she's watching.
She might. Maybe she supports this podcast. You don't know. You don't know who's watching.
I've looked at the follower list. I don't think she's on it.
It could be an alias. She's not going to use her real name. You think she's going to put her real name in there?
It's true.
Exactly.
All
So one of them could be her. I'm being hopeful. Or one of her friends. Who knows? But I went to the Crystal Mall to go to that Hot Topic because it's the only one I know that still exists.
Yeah.
Crystal Mall looks like it is a scene from a post-apocalyptic zombie movie.
Is it that
The-
Baron?
The whole parking lot is empty, just barren. All the cracks are so big and overgrown with weeds now, but in the middle of the parking lot. And there's still some things that are open, but
Yeah.
the parking lot looks abandoned.
Wow.
The building has like vines growing up it, moss, and it's just garbage falling apart. You go inside, the escalators don't work. They're off, and they just have signs that say temporarily unavailable on all the escalators through the whole thing. So they're purposefully shut down. All the big box stores closed. All the signs are still up though, so it's weird. Like Christmas tree shop is still lit up, but the S is like half falling off and out, but everything is there, and it just on the window, close, close, close. Every window has that. They're all barred up. There's I think like 11 stores in that entire mall open right now.
Wow.
And it's like you go there, and you don't. Like there was always background music in the malls, but there was always like 8,000 people also talking, so you never really noticed. When there's you and 3 people that work at the kiosks, and that's it. It is this deafening, because like you hear the song echoing from the speakers down at the other end of the mall, so you're catching the song like this weird like.
Oh man.
It's so funky, and there's just no one there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, this is 10 years ago maybe, like the
That was the
place
last time you were there?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I never went to, Crystal wasn't mine. We would always go to Buckland Hills. That was always like where my friends and I would
Yeah.
hang out. But even that one's the same thing. They're just ghost towns, and it's
Yeah.
so weird to think like on a Friday night the mall you couldn't find a parking space, and there's
Yeah.
thousands of them, and now you literally have to like avoid weeds because they're so thick you think it'll actually damage your car to hit them. But growing in the middle of it, there was a pothole so big somebody put an office chair in it as the warning. There was just a hole with an office chair in the parking lot, and they're like, "That's good." That's how they fixed it.
This is our cone.
Yeah, it was blue. They see that. It's whatever. But yeah, like seeing malls what they are now, I don't know, man. It makes me feel weird. Where I'm like,
I wonder how we would bring them back. Because I know my buddy talks very well about one in West Hartford that is like you go there and it is buzzing. There are people everywhere.
that's cool.
And like him and his wife love going there specifically sometime in December because they do a big tree lighting and
Love
they
that.
have like the whole place is decorated with
Yeah.
Christmas stuff. And he says, yeah, it's like an hour hour and 10, but it's to him and
It's still
for
what it
them to
all
do their
was.
Christmas or
Yeah.
stuff, it's Christmas shopping and whatnot. It's just so beautiful in there and fun.
It's
And,
nostalgic. It's
right,
you
and
know
it's just wild that that one can be so like popular and successful still, where we have any of them close around here are not doing great.
Auburn,
Although,
Eastbrook, Buckland.
so Eastbrook, I will say, has very good sushi and hibachi place, and
The one that is right across from what
Wilmanic.
used to be the movie theater,
Mm,
maybe.
Eastbrook is on Route 6, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you're going to Yukon
But there
or
used to be a
Easton.
movie theater in there.
Oh, okay.
And I think that if it's the one I'm thinking of, when you first walk in, there was a place on the right that was a really good Asian place, and then right across from it was the movie theater.
Oh, maybe.
And then like you go down, FYE used to be there. My parents used to have a store called The Hoot, and I hated it as a
Yeah.
kid.
Well, that's across the street now in
Yeah,
its
they
own
moved.
own building.
I
Or
can't believe
whatever.
that place is still open, but every day after
It's-
Christmas, I got dragged there as a kid because they had 50% off all of their Christmas stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I had the high of Christmas, knowing the next day I'm going to the Hoot. When I'm 7, it stunk.
Yeah. Truth be told, we were at the Hoot, my wife and I. We had a random day off together, and the kids were at school, and it was before Christmas, and we ended up buying like crazy socks or whatever for the kids
Yeah.
and some other stuff. So, and like as you do, like closing gifts, like stores like that to me are useful.
Oh,
to do
it's a
it,
cool place.
you
Like
know,
now as an adult, I like it.
right,
But
but
7-year-old, you're like, this,
yeah.
especially back then, there was a Beanie Baby store right across from it. So I'm like, can we? Like, what are we doing? I don't. This isn't me.
You still own the Beanie Babies, don't you?
I have 4 totes of them. 4. Yeah, thank my parents for saving all those.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have had a mouthful for them if they didn't.
I would have been annoyed. I would have been annoyed. Not for any like monetary value. That window's long gone. I'm sure all 4 bins now are worth maybe 73 cents.
Wow.
Collectively, it's.
Is it not? Beanie Baby market
No.
didn't skyrocket.
You'd think so. You thought all the collective stuff that COVID made just explode. Beanie Babies just somehow still missed the mark.
I just remember my parents and my grandparents always saying, "That's a collector's item. That's a collector's." Like everything that came out. Oh, that's like the McDonald's toys. And technically, they're right, but like you have to find the right buyer and collector.
Yeah.
30 years later, 40 years later, and now we have such a disposable society. It's like kind of makes you sick a little.
It does bug me, and like, cause especially like with Chubby Dog, like a lot of my staff is young, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys don't have. Like, what's your Beanie Baby? You don't. But like seriously, what is it? Like they don't have that. Like whatever
Oh,
that
okay.
was,
Yeah.
what do they have today that is actually
Yeah.
that isn't like a recycled, repurposed thing of us? Because like Pokemon is arguably still a thing. Pokemon cards are still arguably a thing,
Yeah.
but to them it's not what it is to us. Like I never saw my Charizard as like, oh, I should keep this in mint condition because I could actually buy a house with it when I'm 30.
Really?
If it's
I would have never
stupid
known
money.
that.
But like now, kids are looking at like Magic cards. They'll look at them and go, "Oh, this card's worth," and they'll immediately get it graded and put into plastic.
Hmm.
But it's like, is it gonna be worth it? Like if we all know it is, doesn't like the collector's idea of it mean that like a pristine original
Right, they won't
Charizard
be
that we didn't have?
If everybody takes care of their stuff,
What's
they won't
the-
be rare anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what
Whereas
you're saying.
now getting a graded
Al-
10 Charizard's
Although
impossible.
there's definitely still a supply and demand situation there. Even like right now in the housing market, we have people that don't want to sell. They don't want to get out of their low rate. So we have that low inventory issue.
Sure.
So it's keeping the prices pretty high. So it's, even though there's more homeowners now than there ever was, same kind of idea when you have more people that are keeping these cards in mint condition.
Maybe.
It may, because they won't want to sell them. You know what I mean? It'll all be kind of a timing thing for the
Yeah,
supply
like
and
does the rarity
demand.
just become like who's willing to give it up? Versus
Right.
Not like how many are there, but
Right.
oh, someone's actually willing to sell it, so
Yeah.
I have to get it while I
And
can.
I doubt, because so much stuff is made in China or other countries, that are they counting? Are they
I
like,
wonder, yeah,
oh,
like
there's only 2 in circulation. There's only 200 in circulation. Like they'll produce millions because we keep buying them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
yeah. So it's
So
also
like,
there's no
Yeah.
if you want it, it's there.
Right.
It's on your phone. It's a click away. And
Right.
It's in your
Oh,
hand.
we already made a warehouse full of them, so 10 years later you can still get them.
Yeah, we can still give you a case for $16. They're here.
Yeah, that could be the issue is that, and with, I mean, technology, you have so many people doing printing and different
Yeah.
home crafts that start looking more and more like my wife has a Cricut thing
Mhm.
where she makes stickers to like get those when I was a kid or get like a shirt made was like
A big
where do you
deal.
go for that? Like
Yeah.
it was like a big deal. Now it's almost like everybody has them, for
Yeah,
Michaels,
Yeah,
or
for a
whatever.
couple $100, you can literally make your own clothing at home. And
Right.
it's like back in the day, you had to wait till the Woodstock Fair so somebody could, spray paint your name on a shirt or a hat.
Yeah.
And you realize the coolest thing ever.
And I would never have the money after you paid to get in.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you just look at them and go like, man,
Yeah.
maybe next year.
That's one thing that's definitely about some of the fairs is like, the kids want to go and stuff, but it's like we'll go to the Brooklyn Fair. It's a little cheaper and like Kayla has a life pass. And,
Oh, cool.
we Matt and I are in scouts, so we get in to work the chicken barbecue, and then we might have some time afterward to walk around. But so it becomes a cheaper weekend. But like to think about the last time I was at the Woodstock Fair, which still love the fair. I'm a fair person. I love them. But last time I was there, it was we had a double stroller, and we went there on a Saturday midday. It was so packed.
Yikes.
I was like, and you pay for the parking, you pay to get in, and then nobody had a life pass. We just weren't, she didn't. My wife grew up working at the Brooklyn Fair, so she had enough hours in. They gave her a life pass that whole bit. Where Woodstock wasn't local, and it was just more money for the whole family.
Sure.
And so it was kind of funny. Not that I want to go. I want to go with the kids and show them at some point. But it's like you got to think about like a day at the fair can cost as much as like a weekend away.
Yeah, with kids especially. I mean, like if it is just like me
Yeah.
and my wife, it's like okay, so tickets are $12 each. So all right, so
Yeah.
24 to get in, 10 to park. All right, so just to walk the door, we're at 35
Yeah.
bucks. Let's just say.
And if the kids are over 12 and they like
All the ride
they
stuff.
own property, they can't like say, oh, they're under 12.
Yeah, no, they sure are. Like, well, he has a beard, so it's like
Yeah.
it's in the water, chlorine, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the people that try to lie and get the kids in for free because they're under 12 and they're like stomping out a cigarette, walking
Yeah.
with beer,
Hey, can I?
talking to their divorce lawyer on the phone. Yeah, I'm 12.
Yeah. Are you balding, 12-year-old? Yeah, it's a real. It's
It's
friends
a
of the
thing.
family.
It happens.
Yeah. You ever had a widow's peak? Well, I have that. So, give me the bracelet.
Yeah, and then there's just when you want to eat or do anything else there, it can be expensive.
And it is the reason now, especially as an adult. I don't go for the rides anymore. It's just
Yeah.
to shove the most. Like, what's the weirdest thing you're gonna deep fry? Because I'm gonna eat 4 of them. I love it.
Remember how mind blown you were when you first came out with or came to America with deep fried ice cream? You're like, how does that
How?
work?
How did you do it? It seems like it shouldn't exist. It's like, is this what quantum physics are? I don't know.
Yeah,
It was the best. And
it's
then
like-
they were just like, screw it. We deep fried a stick of butter. And you're like, you know what? Great. Yes, I'd love to. You may as well.
What else? Deep fried mayonnaise balls. Mm.
It's probably good. I don't know. You have a whole cart based on it. It can't be horrible. Yeah, it rules. I love it. I forgot what building it's across from, but they were always in the same spot. It's these big powdered donuts. That's all the cart does. Since I've been a kid, every year.
Oh, the large donut.
Those.
Oh yeah.
Every year.
Oh,
like,
that's yeah.
those are my
You gotta get
favorite
the large
thing there.
donut. And now I'm big on like a nice coffee up there, like coffee and donut. Like I don't care if I'm gonna stay up all night.
Oh, it does-
Sugar and
it's
caffeine.
worth- yeah. If I'm going to the fair, I'm
Yeah.
not looking to treat my body well today. It's not the goal. It's
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
made the sacrifice.
the big donut and I'm trying to think. Is it the American Legion that does the apple crisp up there? There's one of
I think
those.
they all
groups.
do, but I think I know.
But
Which
there's a certain group that does. I want to say it's the American Legion, but I can't. Not totally, or maybe it's one of the fireplaces. I recognize it as soon as I see it, but
yeah, that's the
gotta
thing.
have the apple crisp.
Yeah,
So good.
there's staples every time. They used to have. Remember the German waffle fry cart that they used to have?
Yes.
That I don't know what happened or how they ever left there, but those were so good,
Yeah.
and now they're just not there anymore, which really bummed me
I
out.
I will say when so Remax did a big thing where we float people up in the balloon,
Yep.
tethered balloon rides, and I got to work a shift for that. It's kind of cool because
That's
they
cool.
need a crew to like hold down the basket while people are getting in and out and stuff.
You get to do the fire thing.
Yeah, you can do the fire
Is
thing.
this what you do? Do you just pull a string like it's
It's
a light?
like a handle,
Oh.
so you're like just like
Really?
yeah. It's
That's cool.
and so yeah, they don't. You can do that all you want. Most of the time, the guy's really cool about that, like hitting the fire thing. But
Oh, he just just go for it, just yank it down.
yeah, he usually gives everybody a turn to do that.
Oh, that's cool.
Same with when they set up on our float for the
Mhm.
Putnam Razzle Dazzle Light Parade.
Oh yeah, and they just launch.
We have the fire, and you just
Yeah,
they have the guys watching for the power lines in the trees above. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no.
and it's awesome walking beside it because it's so warm.
Oh, I know that is. I do. And
Kyle's not here; he didn't turn off my boiler.
sure didn't. Yeah. What you're hearing is background noise. Brought to you by Chubby Dog Coffee Co. Yeah.
About time we got somebody to sponsor the background noise.
That's
We
right.
got enough of it.
This annoying intrusion is brought to you by.
But yeah, we were doing the tethered rides, and somebody was doing chicken and waffles.
We.
Yeah, that was really
You
good.
got me on
That
that
was-
one. That is.
You don't like those?
Oh,
Or you do?
I
Oh,
love
oh, yeah.
chicken and waffles.
yeah. When we went to DC, not this past spring vacation, but the year before, I believe that's when we went. Yeah, there was we were actually far enough south to go to a Waffle House.
Isn't it a
It's like so good,
it's
and
a
it wasn't the chain Waffle House. It was
real one?
it was a real like,
I
they
thought
had
you
the
meant
floats. They actually this place had their liquor license, so you could get
cool.
like your ice cream float with like root
Bailey's?
beer or Bailey's or whatever.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of different concoctions, but I got the Oreo sundae. I forget what was in it.
Kahlua.
Yeah,
Something.
it was something. It was really
Yeah.
good. And then the chicken and waffles with that like sweet and sour honey on it, something like that. It was so good. But
Yeah, it's
waffles and chicken, fried chicken.
what a
was-
combo.
yeah.
What a great
So,
combo.
Somebody was really thinking there.
Yeah. And when we used to live in Virginia, it was fun to just find any of those restaurants that are. It's like when you walk in and it looks like it's been the same family for 306 years, and the grandma's still cooking the food there. You're like, get
Yeah.
ready, arteries, because we
Yeah.
are clogging you today. And it is some of the like. What they do to their fried chicken down there, I will never know, but it's
Yeah.
unreal the difference
Yeah, they got
from here to
the
there.
they got the frying thing down.
And
Yeah.
they are just like, no, buttermilk's all we own. We don't. There is nothing else available.
Maybe that's what it is that we're missing up here is the buttermilk.
Maybe, I mean,
So, I don't know.
or just whatever that southern cooking mentality is. It makes
It's
a
certainly not
difference.
Eggos and Tyson. That's
No,
for sure.
No, it was so great. We had just countless spots, even like the fast food ones. Raising Cane's that was down there.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't been to one.
It's all they do is I think like a finger and a sandwich. You can either like a basket or a sandwich. That's all they do. And they're like, what one? You want number one or two? And you go, well, I guess that one.
Oh, they only have two options on the
Two,
menu.
but it's all about the cane sauce. Which is basically just Big Mac sauce, but with whatever weird again little southern flair they put to it.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
how do you just drink that stuff? It was so bad for you. But yeah, it was the fried chicken down there was gnarly. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of festivals and fairs, aren't you throwing one?
Hey, I got a segue. Do you work for the radio? Yeah, we are.
I learned it from watching you.
Well, I used to be a broadcaster. Yeah, so we got Small Town Music Fest coming up again this year. We did throw it last year, as some may remember. It was awesome. We featured 13 local bands last year, had a bunch of vendors and food trucks, and it was a great time. It was all out behind Chubby Dog Gaming Bar in Danielson. We are going to throw it again this year. I think the tentative date I shouldn't say tentative, it's pretty much confirmed, is October 11th. It's going to be this year's. It is, as far as we know right now, in Danielson as well. This year, it may be across the street from Chubby Dog, not behind it,
Oh, really?
because they're working on that brickyard project that was supposed to be done last year, but is still in the works. and it is set to be done by November 15th, which means that on October 11th, I assume the back lot that we would have used is going to be torn up. So
Yeah.
rather than commit to that and then be like, oh no, what do we do? We're just going to move it
Yeah.
across the street to where Wicked Sinister used to be behind
And Danielson
Surplus.
and
All those parking
all those
lots.
parking lots.
So we're going to shut down that road and use all that space back there.
Yeah.
That's the thought right now. I mean, if anything changes with like the Brickyard, if they're like, oh, we're not going to start breaking ground until next year, then we'll put it back where it was again. But so it's still happening somewhere.
So how does that work? Do you have to like roll a cart with your coffee and all your products across?
Oh, I'm not even. I don't even do that. I'm not even.
Oh, okay. You don't work it.
Nope.
Oh.
No, I mean, I work the event.
And it's open with your
Chubbs is
employees
open, so it's like just go there. I'd rather push business to my business so that you can see what it is. So like anyone that comes doesn't know what it is. It's like, oh, look at this place. Like, I'd rather you see the space itself than just see my stupid face going, like, we buy coffee, and they go, who are you? I'm like, I own that. And they go, cool, we're over here. So I'd rather it be that way. Plus, yeah, we're just my buddy John and I, who puts it on with me. We're the whole day is just we don't know what we're doing. So it's easier just to be like, no, that's my space. Go there, have fun.
Yeah,
and we just do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be happening somewhere on October 11th for sure. We have this year. We're only going to do I think 10 bands, but we're doing that because we're going to have. I think we're doing 3 locals and then a handful of semi-local, like Mass, Connecticut, Rhode Island, but 3 bigger-ish ones, and we're getting 2 headliners. So we're spending more money on the bands to get bigger names and just see what that does. So it'll still be a good time because the larger headliners will have longer sets, whereas like all the smaller local bands only have 4 or 5 songs because they're all doing originals. So the smaller local bands will have 30-minute sets, the medium bands will have 45-ish minute sets to an hour, and then the headliners will do what they do.
Right. And for anyone that's ever even tried to sing along with one song like me, that's a lot. It's tiring.
It's wacky. And they're up to doing like jumping jacks and running around back and forth.
Some
of
these bands go on for an hour and a half.
It's a lot.
Like I give them props for that because that is a lot of work. And then some of them are like dancing and doing numbers and crazy other things.
And still can do breath work to sing.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting exhausted talking to the microphone sitting down. Like how do you do it? But yeah, so that is happening. I want to thank the Thompson Business Association for helping us put this all together. And I want to thank Allie Mac Marketing. I just found out today her name is Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
I always call her Allie because that's just how she introduced herself to me one day.
Yeah.
So then when I talk to others and I'm like, hey, Allie? And they go, who? And I go, Allie Mac. And they go, Olivia? And I'm like, no, Allie. Like, yeah, Olivia. And I'm like, no, Allie. And then she showed me, she's like, this is how my name is spelled. And I'm like, oh, you are Olivia. Okay. So I always argue with people that, no, it's not her, but turns out it was.
Yeah. And if you had watched the podcast with her here.
I did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She says that.
That's where I got that information from.
Really?
Yeah.
You messing with me?
No, that's how I learned about her because I was so annoyed at everyone getting angry at me for arguing with them. And then I saw her on here and I was like, she's got to talk about it. There's no way she does. And then I heard her, I was like, oh, I knew it. But
that's
yeah,
funny. But the more people that debate over stuff like that, the more clicks she probably gets.
Oh yeah, because
like
I mean, I
stirring her.
Yeah, because every time I try to
base.
describe her, instead of describing her like what she looks like, I'm like, no, Allie Mac Marketing. I always just say her business like 30 times, and then they Google her and they go, yeah, that's her. And I'm like, exactly. I told you, Allie. So, but yeah, she's been a big help, and she's gonna help us do some marketing. And moving for it, and then my friend Kelsey, who owns the Craft Collective Salon above Chubbs in Danielson, she's going to be a big part too. Her and her husband Kyle, he just started doing some fun like graphic design side work.
Nice.
Pixel Critical on Instagram. He does phenomenal work. Like all of our cool signage that we have on our A-frames, he just takes markers and just goes, "Let me just draw that for you." I'm like, how?
Wow.
What? He's just sitting there on the table, just like, oh yeah, you want Darth Vader? Let me make him look perfect with my hands. I'm like, okay, show off.
I will say you do a lot with the local artists. You have the wall in Chubb, Danielson. Yeah, a bunch of walls like painted by local artists and stuff like that. With all
shout
the
out Liz
characters.
for that big mural.
Yeah, the murals and stuff.
That thing is gnarly.
That's really cool. Like if you go in there and you realize like the background story of both Chubbs, you're like, yeah, it's huge support of local.
Everything there was pretty much done by someone that you will see walking around in the neighborhood. That's the point.
Right.
The goal
Yeah.
of what
Yeah,
we're supposed to be doing.
a lot of that's awesome.
Yeah, we
that
try.
I and it that's like the whole idea of just like everybody using local people
Support each other.
and supporting each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
is like that's awesome that you
That's
do
what it's
that.
supposed to be. We use Leona's baking company in Putnam. She makes all of our pastries, all of our bake stuff.
Yeah.
Lindsay's the best. She was the one that helped put on that drag show that we just did at Chubbs and Danielson last month.
Oh, no.
We're doing another one this month on the 27th. We're hosting another drag show. Lindsay's going to be a pivotal part in that. But then one of the drags and I were talking, and we're going to do like monthly stuff as well moving forward. But she was a huge part in helping us create that. So I love Lindsay. She's one of the best. So yeah, if you get a chance to go see her in Putnam, Leona's Baking Co. She's on Kennedy Drive, I think. Yeah, that's what that road is.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm always just so used to saying Main Street,
You're
so I don't know anyone else's address. But yeah, that's yeah.
all good.
Again, it's like part of what we should be doing is that supporting each other. That's this.
I'm
like,
down. I'm down.
Why you do this?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so wacky that you have to explain it to some people. I'm like, why? Just do this. It's okay.
It's funny how many people. So our first year, we were guessing about 60-40, like 60% people came to us at wanting to be on the platform.
Mhm.
So we were like, whoa,
Oh, good.
that was pretty good. This year, it's almost 100%. So as since our
Okay, that's a little bit.
anniversary, I was like, well. Besides when I reach out to you because somebody canceled.
Hey, Adam, we had a lot of cancellations. I asked a lot of people who all said no. Can you just come on, last resort?
No, doesn't really work like that. Because like there's like, so I don't want time off. I don't want to not do a podcast on Mondays if somebody cancels because it actually screws with the algorithm. We get less
True.
less everything traffic when we do that, when you skip anything. If I skip the commercial, if I skip that post when I tell everybody to put it on YouTube and Spotify.
Smashing like that sub button.
Yeah.
Click the bell so you get notifications. Yeah,
Right.
all that
Yeah.
kind of
So
stuff.
there's like definitely less like noticeable less traffic when you skip a week or when we take a week off. So I try not to do that very much. Plus, I love it. So like,
Yeah, why
you
not?
know, Kyle couldn't make it. Plus, the chef that we had for tonight couldn't make it, and I put out the feelers to the people on the cancellation list. And
Slipped
you
in
were
my
the only
DMs
one.
and you're like,
Slipped in your
hey,
DMs.
Adam, what's up? I'm like, yeah, I got you.
It's funny because I had to text you to look at your DM.
I do turn off notifications for any social media stuff because it just goes off constantly. And I'm like, I don't. So, yeah, if you do ever hit us up, Chubby Dog, especially on social messaging, I do check. I try to like every week, every day. I usually don't, but I try to tell myself every day at least look at it once. I forget usually 3 days in a row, and then I'm like, oh, and then I go and look and.
Yeah, it was kind of late last night when we got the cancellation, and
Oh, okay.
so like the airline grill,
Mhm.
This gentleman bought it, and his name's Nathan Gould,
I know.
and oh, okay, but he's like big time chef,
Michelin star chef.
yeah, okay,
Mhm.
so he's gonna make that into a restaurant called Pintail, and he said he's having a lot of trouble with permitting.
Oh, I bet.
What do you call it?
Liquor.
Zoning.
Yeah.
I don't know about. He didn't say liquor. He did say, but like zoning and wetlands and zoning. Yeah, all those town things. And
Stop it, Pomfret. Ah.
I'm hoping they're not like that, but it just seems like there's a lot of towns that are like that.
Water cure.
And who knows? Maybe it was miscommunication. Maybe sometimes people are good at what they do, and they're not always good at building.
Maybe.
And doing all that. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Seeing what Water Cure Distillery went through to get just to be able to
Oh, you know
sell
the
anything.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Shout out to
Come on.
Water Cure. Love their stuff.
Dan, you're the best.
If they want to come on this platform, reach out.
I'll tell him. He comes into Chubby Dog every Friday.
I want to say he's related to Kyle as well.
Is he?
Somehow. Yeah, somehow I think he is.
Why doesn't Kyle reach out to me?
I mean, some people are camera shy. There's a lot of New Englanders that don't really want to do the camera, the social media stuff, that kind of thing. So
I get
is
it.
what it is.
I mean, does my eyebrow show up yet? I
What?
can't. I can't.
Oh, we're doing this again.
It's growing back, so
I was gonna say they don't look different to me.
not
They look-
anymore.
they
It's
look-
Scroll back through our
What happened?
history.
Did you shave it or something? I know it came up
I
at
do
one
that?
time.
No, when my mom got diagnosed
Oh,
with breast
that's right. That's
cancer,
right. You
apparently it turns out stress removes hair from your face. My body went like, "Hey, right eyebrow," and just peeled it off.
Is it alopecia? Is that what that's
It's
called?
like it's basically
Stress-induced-
stress-related alopecia is
Yeah.
what it
Wow.
was. So, but it's they're like it could take anywhere from 3 weeks to 48 years to come back, and I'm like, great, that is
3 weeks to 48.
phenomenal.
Glad they have that narrowed down.
Yeah. So yeah, it just started to fall out. My eyelash still isn't there on the right eye. I have no eyelash.
Oh yeah.
Gone. Just
That's part of hair.
apparently
All right,
because
I
it's
didn't know
gone
that.
too. I don't know where it went. It just fell off. So yeah, this whole side of my face is like,
Yeah.
oh, we're stressed now. It just fell. It's so weird. But yeah, it's starting to
Luckily,
come
your
back.
wife's there through thick and thin because your body parts aren't.
Yeah, she's the one that actually one day when I came home, I said hi to her, gave her a little kiss in the forehead, and as I came up, she went, "What's wrong with your face?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Your eyebrow. What? Where'd it go?" And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Nice.
And I went in the bathroom, like, "Whoa!" Ah! It was just gone. And like I had these big like Russian caterpillar eyebrows. So when you compared nothing to this one, it looked cartoonish. It was so stupid looking.
Did you give the other one a little buzz cut?
Nope,
to
I
try
was
it?
just like, we're going for it. And if anyone wants to judge, I go, my mom has cancer. They go,
well.
oh, I'm like, yeah, exactly. My eyebrow ain't a big deal anymore. She's good now, FYI.
Good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Cheers, Mom.
Whenever I see your mom and dad at the at Chubby Dog, which I feel like they're your only regulars that I see.
It's pretty constant.
They're always super supportive, and they're always, talking about you and on the radio and how funny you are. and
If it weren't for them, Chubs wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
They put a lot of money forward to help make Chubby Dog start. So
Nice.
I owe them literally the entire business
Wow.
is because of my
So,
folks. They put
yeah.
money out on their house and they were like, "You'll do it," and I'm like, oh, "I sure hope so." Because thanks for that.
You'll do it, or we'll be homeless. That's cool.
Yeah, either one, Mom, Dad. Sorry, but there's a nice overpass on Route 6. Go find yourself a plot of land. You chose to give me the money. I went from being a morning radio jock to owning a business. You chose to give me that money, knowing I had no experience doing this. So, not my fault if it tanks.
Well, cheers to you. Actually a really awesome story because there's so
Where
many
yours
people that don't appreciate the risk that it takes to go out on your
It's
own. and
terrifying.
Stuff like
It's
that.
terrifying.
Yeah.
It's just like people don't understand that. Like the idea of like vacations is what really sucks. Is that they're like, "Oh, good, you got away for a weekend." It's like, I know you think that, but the whole time
you're on the
you're
phone.
getting
Yeah.
texts and calls about,
Yeah.
"Hey, Adam, where's the trash bags?" I'm like, "Did you look in dry storage?" "Oh yeah." "Okay, good. I'm glad we had this call." Yeah, but it's like, and then just like you never know what's gonna happen. Like especially
Yeah.
Danielson, we have what's the words I'm looking for? An unsightly crowd that walks around the streets, especially at night. And the amount of fights I've had to get in with some of them. I just did it on Thursday. I just had to
Really?
kick one out. He's sitting on my outdoor patio and he's rolling cigarettes. And I'm like, "Hi, get off my seat." And he goes, "It's public property." I'm like, "Nope, it's sure not. Get off my seat." Using different language, of course, that I've been told I can't use on this podcast.
PG-13 or cleaner.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so we
Appreciate it.
so he just keeps arguing with me, and I'm like, "Okay, so you're not smart enough to get a job or a house, but you know the law about the sidewalk. Get out of here!" Just screaming at the guy, and
Oh,
he's
man.
screaming at me. Then he gets up out in the middle of the street and goes, "Come on, bro, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yes, but I go to jail, sadly, if this happens. So what am I gonna do?" I call the cops. The Troopty's great. They got there within 3 minutes, if that. They already know who he is by name. This is what he does. He gets drunk. He wanders the streets at night because he's sitting on the chair rolling cigarettes, but he also has an open can of beer, which I'm not allowed to
Jeez.
sell beer on the outside. I don't have
right.
I don't have a
Yeah.
patio permit.
Right.
So if the liquor commission, for whatever reason, is there at 9:30 at night, sees that, now it looks like I'm breaking the law. Of course, I could have talked to him like, "It's not mine. I didn't."
Right, but then you have to go through that conversation and hope they believe that you didn't
Yes.
sell it to them.
So it's like I can lose my permit, get fined because you're a scumbag. No, boot it. So
Yeah.
he didn't. He instead got onto his seat even closer to the door, yelling at my customers as they're leaving. This whole thing. Cops get there, tell him to leave. He just. This is what he does.
They don't get arrested.
Constant.
He doesn't get arrested for having alcohol in on
he
in
dumped
public?
it. He dumped everything
Uh,
because there was a big puddle where his seat was. So he took it all, and as soon as I had him calling the cops, all of a sudden there's a big puddle on the ground. I'm like, you dirtbag.
uh,
Yeah. But it's constant.
yeah,
I've gotten into so many fights. The town ain't doing much about it, which annoys me. But we've lost businesses because of it. It's a real problem that people don't understand how bad it is in Danielson, but
yeah,
it is really bad. There's a
yeah,
lot of violent crime. There's a lot of drugs, and there's a lot of people that should not be allowed to be just wandering the street. It's insane that they are. People that
yeah,
scream at nothing and they just stand in my shop yelling at the floor, and I'm like, what is this? And then it's just like, the cops can't really do anything. You can't. They don't have the authority to do it, sadly. So it's like they
right.
just ask them to leave, and they go, "We'll put them on a no trespass list." I'm like, so, like, what does that do? So what happens? Like, it's sad. But it's a real struggle in the town right now. So
Yeah, and it's tough because there's so much addiction and mental illness, and like every town's got its issues with it. Um, it's some of it's like you think about it. It's like where do you even begin? With this issue, how do you even
yeah, I
fix
know.
it?
You need places just to like. I know asylums sounds like such like an archaic concept, but it's like, is that really worse than them living in an overpass, like doing heroin?
Right.
Like, what is it
Well,
really worse?
yeah. So the um, different therapies they had for them back when they were asylums was
Yeah, maybe
was
not
like
those.
what gives that a bad name. I think.
Yes,
I think.
maybe don't
But
lobotomize everyone.
or the shock therapy that they
Yeah,
were doing.
we can
So,
change
like,
some of the tools.
it was like when somebody's wife just didn't want to be a housewife, wanted to be something else. They oh, you need therapy.
Yeah,
Have shock therapy.
and by that, here's a drill. We're gonna take out a chunk of your brain that'll make you want to do dishes again. And it's like that's wacky. I'm not saying we need that,
Terrible.
but
Right, but the safe haven, the rehab, the you try to give them so like the to me the opposite of addiction is purpose. It's not sobriety, and yes, sobriety can be a tool towards that, but we have to give people purpose. And I go on a whole nother thing about AI and how it's taking away more and more purpose of people.
Drew.
And I know I use the Facebook platform, but like Zuckerberg is saying, well, AI will be good. It'll give us more creative jobs, and a lot of the minutia jobs can go away. Just like when we had all these farmers, now we can bring food in and feed everybody with smaller, with these factory farming or whatever. So that took away a lot of the farming. But to me, like that's purpose, and I feel like everybody should have an outside garden.
Not wrong.
In a way, like we
Mine's
didn't
great.
we didn't replace the good farming and the local farming very well.
No, they made it just this big
right. It's
thing.
like, and so like to me when he says, "Oh, AI is gonna create all these more creative jobs and people will have to do less manual labor and stuff like that," to me it's like, well, we didn't. The first technology didn't do it right. What makes you think AI is going to do it right? And if we're doing that at the cost of our health, what it's not good. To me, it's like you
it's
just
Skynet.
stop. You got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like stop AI now.
Just talked about Terminator 30 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
What have we not learned? It's coming.
Yeah. And one of the most brilliant minds of our times, like, oh, it could be just like Terminator.
Yeah, and you're like,
Like,
oh,
oh, great. Or
great.
one of the tech minds of our time. I don't know if he's the most brilliant, but it's like,
Yeah, well, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about AI other than the
Right.
fact that it's creepy that I can just talk to a computer screen and it goes, oh, you mean this? And it makes something that
yeah.
is exactly what you were looking for. And you're like,
Right.
oof,
Yeah.
that means you
And
know me.
the other thing that it gets me is like ChatGPT and all these people using it for creative writing and communicating, like, oh, please write my email.
It's an oxymoron to call it creative writing.
Right. Well, so we're basically telling ChatGPT and AI that you sound better, communicate for me. Okay. So now when you fast forward and we all have Neuralink in our head, when someone asks you a question, who's responding? Is it going to be ChatGPT? Because we just spent over a decade saying, "Hey, you sound better than me. Please write this for me." So I feel like we won't even have real discussions anymore.
Do you have the rights to the X-File theme song? Because play it right now. I mean,
this is just my stupid hot take.
No,
I
but
have,
it
like a
is.
micro mind of this, but
It does bug me because my wife and I were talking about AI made fake newscasts, but everything is AI generated. The person talking is an AI generated image
yeah,
of a human talking. It looks very real,
right.
especially like I can tell because it's like, especially from playing so many video games, like it's the mouth. We still can't digitize a mouth to look like a human
Yeah.
mouth when it talks. So when you watch these AI human videos, the mouth gives it away. But I can see that. Someone who's 50, 60, 70 that just sees a news story pop up
Right.
isn't going to catch the fact that the mouth is off, that these little nuanced things that are like, oh, clearly AI, we're still not, we still can't get the rendering of your tie to look good.
Right, but you even like look at like Instagram where people put these filters on and it doesn't look right. So now
Yeah.
AI just looks like you put on a filter and it doesn't look right.
Also,
It's,
oh yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's like so confusing
yeah.
as to whether or not this is edited or if it's AI or whatever. And then the other thing about yeah, like the filters, but it's going to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
And
like it's
these,
getting worse. Like,
yeah, the fakes are gonna get better, and you're not gonna know.
Yeah.
And it's like even like court of law, like videos now, like oh, we got you on video. Well,
do you?
yeah, like everybody can make those in their basement now. Like that's the crazy part.
It is insane to think that, like, I don't know, is that me that murdered that person? Well, here's you holding a knife, like, it's not me.
Right.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Prove that's actually me.
Yeah.
When I can go to my computer and go, hey, make a video of me murdering somebody, and then play it in the court and go, looks the same.
Yeah.
How do you know which one of these is real?
Yeah.
It's scary, man. I don't like it. And it sounds so old manish at 37 to be like, man, remember when AOL Instant Messenger was like the pinnacle of society online? Oh, it was the best.
Funny thing is I skipped over that one. I didn't do that or MySpace. I didn't even get a Facebook page until like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't do MySpace ever, and
yeah.
it took a lot of convincing from a lot of friends to get Facebook. And as soon as I did, I was like, "This is dumb." And then they're like, "No, let's go around and take some pictures for your Facebook." I'm like, "That's stupid. I don't want to do that. Why?"
Yeah.
They go, "So you can see what you're up to." Like, who? The people from high school I didn't like. I don't care what they. I don't need them to see me doing something.
Regardless if your followers like you or you like them or not, to me, it also like I've already had people say, "Well, I'm not going to go to the reunion because I already know what you're doing now on social media."
True.
So like that's like they're at an all-time low of participation and stuff like that. So like to me, that's like, well, what's the point?
I mean,
you know what I mean? It's not like I'd love to go hang out with old buddies or whatever. But like you have to go get in a car and go hang out with old buddies.
Do you really want to though? Do you really want to go to our reunions?
You got to be careful because your business relies on that. Exactly.
It does. Oh, it does. Look, it does. It terrified. Like again, but that's part of like what I want Chubs to be was the. It's when I was younger, that LAN party in my friend's parents' basement. That like we like two other kids brought their big tube TVs, big like 23-inch TVs, and an Xbox, and we had to actually like connect them all to play Halo on 3 TVs. But we're all together. We're doing the same thing we're doing now, but instead of me sitting on my couch playing online with people from
all
the hell
the
knows
world.
where,
Yeah.
it was my friends all in a room interacting as human beings together, having this experience that like now I look back on so fondly, but like at the time you don't think of anything. You're just like, oh, this is what life is. This is what we do.
Right.
And now it's like I can't believe that became this in not even 20 years. I mean, I'm 37. Like it's insane to look back.
Right.
It's not that long ago, but
Oh,
technology it's an insane difference. Even just basic internet stuff. Again, like AOL Instant Messenger was a huge thing. It's a text messaging platform on your computer.
Right.
But that was insane. That was a thing.
Oh, I remember when emails first came out.
But now it's
I'm
just
that
this
old.
annoying thing on your phone.
Yeah.
But when that came out, you're like, what do you mean I can send you an electronic mail? What is that?
It was like the first time you try it, I was like 10 or whatever. Like, oh, hi. Send.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it got to him. Look, he said thanks.
Or even just like the accessibility of internet, like the fact that it was phone lines, so it was like there was a process to getting online. Where like any night where my parents would like go over to their friend's house, and it was just like me and my friend at my house sleeping over, I would get yelled at for tying up the internet to download
And
music illegally.
Napster.
Yeah, huzzah, baby. But like, if you wanted it, you had to go to this room where the one computer was,
Right.
where you had
Yeah.
to commit to, like, we're not talking to the outside world because
Yeah.
you can't call the house, but also, like, AOL online wasn't. I didn't have friend like it wasn't like you knew you were going online to go to social media to talk to somebody. You were just going online to be like, I don't know, I wanna get a Simple Plan song but not pay for it. And then you download 5 different versions and none of them are actually the song you wanted, and you're like, all right, well, we tried. That was fun. My computer's definitely running differently now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you kept the downloads anyway.
Well, yes, they were still good songs, but you didn't know what they were. It's just so insane to think that
Yeah.
was it, but now the thing in our pockets is more powerful than that
Oh,
family computer was.
times hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
always there. It's always online now. Where, like,
Right.
back then you couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I could just go to even when we got like DSL. I was like, it's not on the phone line anymore, and like, no. So
Yeah.
the computer's always on the internet. You just have to go click Internet Explorer and you're
Right.
on it. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah. And then like even my phone, so 2020 June, and I only remember this because it was one of the busiest months ever for business and personally, and because like the rates were dropped, it was the beginning of COVID, but it was like after the 2 week shutdown, and then like the rates dropped and people were moving out of cities and coming here to Northeast Connecticut, and it was just like it was insane. And my phone died, like died. We're not like, oh, we're gonna go reboot it and see what like it died. Was worse function than this coaster here. And
Yikes.
yeah, so right in the middle of all that, and I go to Verizon and have the guy look at it, and he was like, well, it's a computer that's on all the time. I'm like, that's a good point. He's
Yeah.
like, processor probably just crapped the bed, and anything you didn't have backed up on an internet account of some sorts is gone, and so
Fun.
so luckily everything I do in business is either on Google or Remax
Sure.
websites. So I was fine in that aspect. Same with my contacts; those are all backed up and stuff. But it was just like the idea that like all of a sudden I couldn't run anything. Well, I had to go to the laptop and run it that way, and like it was a couple of days before I got a phone back, and then you have to learn the new operating system and all this, all the apps and stuff. But like it was just like it dawned on me like you never shut this thing off. And I remember like when you started a computer when you were a kid, you used it for however long that day and then shut it down.
Every
And
time.
it wasn't like you didn't like turn it on. I'd use it for 10 minutes, turn it off, and then like somebody else would come in, and that one computer, if you were turning it on, it was kind of on for the day.
Yeah.
And then at night, whoever stayed
Okay,
later
computer
than me,
off.
shut it off, and it was like that, and it got to rest or cool down or whatever. And like your phone's not like that. We treat our phones like they're on all the time.
Every day.
And,
All
yeah.
the time.
And I do actually remember having one of my first smartphones, and you could set it so it would shut off between like 1 and 3 in the morning. But that was before I had kids, and it was like emergencies couldn't come through at that time or whatever. So
Yeah, and I never
I
know
don't
what.
know really if I should do that now or not.
Some say you should power cycle all the time. Some say it's actually more damaging to. I think it's part of some part of it that, like, the reboot makes it work. Like, that reboot cycle is a strain on
Right.
something like some hardware.
Yeah.
So doing it every day is actually not good for it, but
Yeah.
some say it is, and I never know what to do. So
Yeah.
like every week I just power cycle it just to.
To me,
power
I
cycle it.
I only power cycle it when it's malfunctioning. Like, okay, we got to turn it off, turn it back on.
Yep,
Which is
heard ya.
probably wrong too. And then like I actually do remember as kids when we were buying the desktop or whatever, they said, that button has a life and it's only going to turn on and off so many times. That was like all the hardware does have a
Yeah.
shelf life, that kind of thing.
When you got the big
So
big
it-
Calprint compact box, remember
Yeah.
that was their thing.
luckily my brother was a huge tech kid at the time, and like every so many years he'd be pushing mom and dad, let's get another desktop, the newer, better, Windows 98, and
Ooh.
so, like I do remember when it was a DOS operating system and stuff.
Yikes. Yeah, we never
Just
had
a
one at
couple of
that
that.
point. But I remember even in school, when Windows 95 first came to the computer lab,
Oh yeah.
and that first day that we went to that, our teacher was so like blown away at the concept of an interactive operating system that you just click a thing and it does it. There's no coding, and she was blown away.
Yeah.
And she showed us all these things, but it's like looking back, it was like opening paint and drawing. It's like, but she was like, I can't believe this is a thing. It was insane to even imagine for her. And then now look at us. Chat GPT is making an AI version of you and me doing this podcast. We can literally make a cartoon out of us doing this on AI.
Oh, we could be babies. You ever see
We
those?
could copy Joe Rogan completely. It would be fun.
Yeah, like Theo Von and Joe Rogan going
Yep.
back and forth as babies.
It's so insane that can just
Yeah.
happen, and it
Yeah.
looks real.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is go, hey, AI software, do this. And it's like,
Yeah.
give me 4 seconds, and then it just does it.
Well, I'm told that, and they've talked about it multiple times on his podcast, but Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs, there's like a 45-minute podcast of the two of them talking out there. And it might only be audio, but I'm not sure because I've never looked it up. But, he says, I've never met Steve Jobs before he passed away, but somebody created my voice talking to his voice.
That's insane.
There's so much. It happens when you have so much of your voice recorded.
Yeah, because then AI can just pull from it.
And I want to say like Siskel and Ebert, one of them had really bad throat cancer, and they were able to make a machine that could talk for him because so much of his voice was recorded, so that he could like punch it in and it would shoot out in his voice. It was just like an
crazy.
audio thing for him to talk and communicate, but it was like his voice.
And then
Because
again,
he
it
had
brings.
said every word, every combination of words you could think of on recording. So,
But then now, like in the future, what happens when it is something legal that you're battling? And it's like, well, we have a recording of your voice. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know that you do. I really don't.
I mean, think about like it's easy to find my voice now for forever, and it's
Yeah, I have years of radio
yeah,
garbage out there. Like
yeah.
my voice is not. It's not like it's not out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could make me say anything.
Even Bruce Willis sold his essence, his character. I forget what they call it when you can sell your likeness, so that they can make other movies and commercials with your voice and your likeness later on.
Oh yeah, because now in movies you can just AI people that have been dead forever, or even they make them look younger.
Yeah.
The age regeneration or degeneration thing where it's so weird because
when
you
an
can
actor
tell.
dies, they can still continue on
movies.
trilogies and other subpar sequels.
Other garbage. Terminator 74. Like no.
With what's his name, Paul Walker passing away, they kind of used his brother and then AI'd his face in one of those.
Sucks to be your brother when he's the guy up there, but it's like, we don't want your face though. Your brother's better than you.
I think the check was just fine. The cash
Yeah, no,
made him
you're not
fine.
wrong.
Okay with it.
For what it's worth, then I could have also played Paul Walker. So
Could you though?
I don't have to do anything. You just have to be from neck down. I can sit behind a wheel and just be like I'm driving. He's not really driving those cars. So I can do that.
Don't disparage the talent of acting.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize I was amongst an actor.
Easy. There's Juilliard type actors that like
Sitting right across from me. I hear you.
No, I'm just defending them. I've never been there.
Oh no, you're not part of SAG.
I have no idea what it's like. So
no, I get it. Your insurance comes from SAG-AFTRA. You're a whole thing. I get it. All those checks that just keep coming in the mail for 43 cents here, 8 cents there. I gotcha.
That would be cool. I'd still be okay with that.
I wonder, like, especially when like the movie, when you first do it, you get paid like millions, and then 20 years later, like, now here's 14 cents. You're like, I guess. What am I getting? You go to the bank for that? Are you really gonna go and be like, can I deposit this? And they go,
yeah.
You want to?
There's definitely some of that, but then there's the other end when it's a hit, and like I'm sure Seinfeld and Friends, those people are still getting paid big bucks.
It's got to be insane
Insane money,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it just de-escalates as you get further away from.
Yeah, because I guess also like the contract may have said that like after X amount of time it just becomes like a standard rate, So it's like you get $300 a year as standard.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's something they knew about streaming services that like their contracts weren't written because it's a big issue with all those older
okay.
actors where they don't have the in perpetuity all media forms future and blah 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 because they didn't think that far. TV was like this
right,
is what
TV,
we do.
yeah.
TV,
every time it airs, you get paid so much, and now it's like
you're on a streaming service.
Yeah, and that like Netflix keeps their analytics close. They don't.
Yeah, you can't.
They don't make those public, so like you really don't even know when you like a lot of comedians talk about that. Like we don't know how many times somebody watched it.
Yeah, like they gave us a little bit of money and they said it was this, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, they don't even say what it is. It's not. They're like your pay scale's not based on that.
Oh,
so
interesting.
They do have like they'll say go watch it, and then like comedian I watch a lot of his stuff is Tony Hinchcliffe, and he was on his podcast the other day saying just leave it on in the background because he has like his first Netflix hit thing. He's like just put it on, watch it, and then tell your friends to watch it, and then just leave it on, let it go over and over and over again on there. It's like
while you're vacuuming, just put it on.
It is based on that, but I don't think they ever get to know what we got
crazy.
20 million views and now I get paid X amount. I don't think they know that part.
I guess it's smart from Netflix's side.
Right. That's the whole.
You can always claim like you did all right.
Right.
Did I? It's like 100 million views. And you're like, no, you did fine. It's good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But then again, on YouTube, it is like per view, and like the way they get paid, it's like everybody sees your views and how many. Which, by the way, please watch mine on. Please watch the Community Workbench on YouTube because we are solely lacking on followers.
Smash that like
subscribe button.
You see that bell on the bottom of your screen? Go ahead. Click that.
Yeah.
Support local.
Yeah. We're on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook, and we do have an Instagram page, but I guess they do long form on Instagram now, so maybe I might put that on.
Oh, do they?
And I was thinking about starting to put everything on X or Twitter too, just
may as well.
be on every platform. Yeah, they can do long form on X for sure, but yeah.
Do it up, why not?
Because it takes a lot of time.
Yep, sure does. It sure does.
That's why I have to spend the majority of my time being a realtor.
Fair.
Or a dad.
Not fair. That's I get it.
Yeah, so is what it is.
Yeah, the struggle's real. I try all the time to push socials, but it's like I'm a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily content driven. I try to bring some like the radio personality to the socials, just so it's like something more than just another picture of a cup with coffee in it. It's like I got it.
I'd say you and there's like a handful of other people in the local area that definitely when you guys put it to your stories, like I'm like, all right, I got to click on this, see what's going on, that kind of thing. And of course, you and I have talked about how I still listen to the radio and your I-98 commercials come in. I'll text you when I heard your I-98 read.
I just had somebody today there at the DMV and it came on there and she texted me and she's like, so, and I'm like, yep, you heard correct.
Every time I call you and tell you, hey, I just heard you on your radio, you're like, why do you have it on the radio? I was like, in the car, I'm still old school. I still like hitting the presets.
It's one of those weird things that I'm always shocked that people still listen to it because, and again, I literally was a morning DJ. Like I didn't listen to the radio when I was on the air unless it was like driving on any road trip. I would tune in, just pick a station and just leave it on until it went out and then find a new one. Just to listen to the hackiness. Because I love judging. So many bits are replayed and like redone in every market.
Yeah.
That it was fun to be like, oh, you're doing the fugitive bit, where the bit is somebody broke into the radio station, stole apparently a sack of money that was just on the boss's
because that's
desk.
where we keep it.
Just 10 grand in a canvas bag that has a big dollar symbol on it. Stole it. Then chose to call the radio station. They told you when, 5:10, 7:10, 9:10, and 5:10 in the evening, every single weekday, to give you clues as to where they are with the current money. Then send your listeners out after them to tap them on the shoulder and go, are you the I-98.3 $10,000 fugitive? So yeah, go up and accost random folks and ask them that question and see what happens. It's such a dumb bit,
Yeah.
but every station does it. War of the Roses. They call in and it's they don't. Oh, we're gonna have the person send flowers to his girlfriend and he doesn't know his wife's on the phone, but he's gonna and then he sends it to the girlfriend and the wife's like, how dare you? All fake. All of it's fake. It's they're
So I've never
all
heard that
recorded.
one.
You
I've never
can't
heard that
do
one.
prank phone calls.
I've heard the prank phone calls, but
Can't do it.
they're
It's
all
illegal.
preset.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
illegal
they're
to
preset.
do those on the air. So that's also a thing I love is when I do hear prank calls, I'm like, oof, ooh, this is gonna be a real roughie because it's always the same, the bad acting because it's you pay a company basically to record the responses to your questions that you send them, and then they just send you that, and then you do your side of it where you ask the questions and you just mash the audio together and then play it. That's how prank phone calls legally work. And if it's not that, because they don't want to pay a company, they get like a one of the sales reps or like an intern, and they go like, "Hey, you want to do a bit with me on the air? Here's your answers. I wrote all your answers. Just read these." And they
Right.
do that, and then they just air it as a prank phone call. But it's all fake because it's illegal to do prank phone calls. So if you ever hear one on the radio, not real. Cannot do it.
But it's still legal to call me every day and ask me
Yeah. That's
about
fine.
my warranty on my phone or my
Perfectly
warranty on
legal.
my car and
Yep.
stuff, my
Yep.
extended warranty,
It's insane.
whatever else scam, insert scam here.
Oh, I get a lot. Yeah, owning a
Yeah.
business.
Oh yeah,
The
because your
amount
public phone number, public
shot
information.
right up
Yeah.
when I started doing this. I hate it.
Mm,
But yeah, it's insane.
yeah. Cheers to another Moves IPA.
Thanks, Black Pond.
Thank you, Black Pond.
See you at Small Town Music Fest. You and Bare Hands putting on that beer garden. I think Triple Raven's gonna be in it this time too.
Is
Out
that a
in
band?
no, they're the brewery out in Thompson. Triple Raven
Triple
Brewing.
Raven. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
really cool.
haven't heard of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
super dog friendly there. So love that.
nice.
The beer's great. So I think we're gonna have them be a part of Small Town this year too.
So like, so you already have Bare Hands and Black Pond
Mhm.
locked up. They're gonna be there.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have a beer garden for it like we did last year. Food trucks, local vendors. So if you want to set up a vendor booth, spots are cheap. We just want to get people. I
Yeah.
want a lot.
Yeah.
I just want when you get there, I want it to almost be overwhelming. I want booth after booth after booth after just local everything.
Yeah.
So if you're a food truck, if you're a vendor of any sort, you want to sell any sort of a ware, hit Chubby Dog up on Instagram or Facebook. I'll see it in 4 or 5 days when I check our messages, and I'll respond to you. But we'd love to have people, sign up and just show off what you got. And
Nice.
last year, every single vendor either sold out or was close to selling out all their inventory.
Wow.
Everyone, literally every vendor, every food truck was either out or almost out. It was a great day for
That's
every
awesome.
business
That's
in that
so
town.
cool.
So if you want to be a part of that this year, October 11th, we'd love to have you. Again, Chubby Dog Coffee on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM. Say, hey, heard John Community Workbench, or I'd love to be a part of Small Town, and we'll get you hooked up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Is there like, I know like food trucks have to get their permit for that town or that particular
Yeah,
health department
probably.
thing. Okay. I didn't know if you knew or wanted to go over any of those logistics.
That is on you. You want a food truck? You should know that. Don't come to me for that. I got to figure out how
I
to
didn't
make a
know if we
festival
wanted
going.
to throw that out there. Just like, all right, get all the proper permits. Too.
Yeah. Do that because
Because I
I
don't
don't want
think
you
they
getting
can
shut down.
get it through you, even though you're a restaurant.
No,
so.
I'm not a restaurant. That's also why I'm not part of the liquor sales that day because I can't get a catering. You have to somehow be a caterer to do it. I don't know. It's dumb. So I don't sell booze outside that day.
but you
The
could-
shop does,
Right.
but I'm not part of the beer garden because I guess legally I'm not allowed to be, even though we have a liquor license. But so
Yeah, I wonder how that works because there's definitely certain permits in some towns where like you can rope off an area and serve alcohol in that area.
that's
kind of
what
thing.
that's what
So
they will do. So when Bare Hands pulls the permits, it goes under their liquor license. But because
Right.
they have a catering aspect, I don't know the legalities. However it
Yeah.
works, they can do it. So yes, what they have to do is when they submit for it, they have to send in a blueprint of the space and then like show this is the square footage that we will be using, and then we have to section it off with I think it's a 4 foot high barricade all
yeah,
the way around. So you just got like
Right.
garden fencing, and we just run it around with
Yeah.
like cones on poles. So we just got to do that. But yeah, you do have to submit the layout, the square footage, and then rope it off.
Yeah.
And then have somebody, obviously, will have at the start of it checking IDs, giving out wristbands to all that good, happy stuff just to
Yeah.
cover.
Is there like you had 13 bands? Is it like rapid one go from one to the other, or is there like time in between? Is
Oh no, so
there
this year it's only 10. Last year was 13.
right? No,
But
no. I'm
yes,
just
it'll
trying to speak from your experience of last year. Was there like a lot of downtime when it came to sound, as far as
not really. We pretty much had each band breakdown and set up within 20 to 30 minutes in between
yeah?
each one.
I don't like maybe shout out to Daly's DJing service. I know that they do like stuff at Fire and Ice where they'll have their booth set up. They do coffees and beverages, and then he does his music as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if like you wanted to coordinate where he could play in the interim while they're like.
Oh no, we got a sound guy.
Oh,
Yeah, we have
like,
this guy named Austin.
and
He owns a little company called Nowhere. They're
and he plays music in between
yeah,
or whatever. Oh, okay.
yeah. He does all the sound too. Like he works in like the local like hardcore scene. He's like the go-to kind of sound guy
Yeah.
for all the smaller shows that these guys are putting on. So he also
Nice.
kind of knows these bands already. He knows
Oh,
like, what their
okay.
sound
Yep.
is. So it does help that he knows the majority of the bands there anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets that like I know what you're going for. So I know kind of how to pot everything up and how to
Yeah.
what effects you're looking to get. I know what I'm listening for. So
Yeah.
I think that also helped us with setup was that every band that came on, he knew last year he knew every band there. So it kind of helped. He's like, okay, I know
Right.
that this guitarist likes this. I know that the vocalist is a little bit lower, so I got to do this. So he knew all that going into it.
Yeah.
So setting up for each band was, I think, quicker because of that.
Right.
We have to sit there and have each guy with the sitting at the snare going like hit, hit. We'd have to
Sound
do
check.
that. Yeah. Some guy would
Sound-
check, hey, check. We didn't have that stuff, so it just moved a lot quicker.
Right.
And then like the first song, he could just make those little minor tweaks that we in the audience probably didn't even notice, but he did.
Yeah, it is wild. When I worked for Mohegan Sun Arena Security, like sometimes you'd get the pre-security detail where you'd have to come in at like 8 in the morning, and even if they were having like 3 bands to a concert, like you never saw the headliners, but all the other bands were doing sound check like
Sure.
all day, and then like the headliner would just come out and
Show
start
up.
playing, and they had the best sound out of all of them. You know what I mean? It was so weird. I'm like, okay, so there's like definitely a science to it, and it just
Oh, yeah.
depends on who's doing it or whatever. But it was just funny that they would like the smaller bands would have to do sound check for like hours beforehand.
Yeah, and it also like depends on their equipment. Like the major
Right, I'm
bands
sure
have
that's
their
a
own
huge thing.
soundboards that they
Yeah.
travel with, and they're all probably marked off.
Yeah.
Like every pot has this is where
Yeah.
it goes, this is where the gain goes, this is where the effects. Like it's all
Yeah.
set up, so you
Right.
just plug and play, and it's you're like we'll do the first song, we'll adjust as we need to for those little tweaks,
Oh, okay.
and then after that it's just
Gotcha.
cruising. So.
Yeah, it was pretty wild because like I think it was Aerosmith. They had this whole huge locker of guitars, and there was one guy there, headphones, just tuning them
Checking
all,
each
putting
one?
it back in, like while they're going on and stuff. I'm like, Jesus.
That's
And it
cool.
was like he had like all these electric guitars that he would just like tune, and then like when they came out with a different, sometimes they would go and come back, or somebody would come hand him a different guitar, and it would be like perfectly tuned, and
Ready
they're
to go
like, now
for
they're
ya.
going to use this one for this song or whatever. I don't know how any of that works, but I was just like, that's wild. There must have been, I don't know, $250,000 worth of worth of guitars on the first level, and then there was like 3 levels. So
Wow.
yeah, it was wild because there's like bass guitars, there's the regular guitars. I'm sure there's quite a bit of guitaring.
You sound like you're really an expert.
Yeah, I think
There's regulars.
I think I preempted that with I don't know.
I think there's what are the wooden ones, the acoustics? Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Is a banjo a guitar? I'm not sure.
But it was cool because I was like, I could reach out and grab one of those guitars.
You
I'm
could've.
sure I would have been tackled. But
Yeah. The secret security you didn't know Aerosmith hired would have definitely come down from the rafters in their ninja outfits and just been like,
No, it was a cool job though, just to see some of that, like how all that worked. And
The backstage stuff is so cool.
Yeah, we had the in-house riggers where they would be climbing up in the rafters,
Yeah.
letting down like speakers so far, or they're picking them up off the ground, and just like all these things. They had those rigger buckets with all the tools and stuff on them and stuff. It was really something to watch. I mean, you're bored anyway. Just like the
Yeah.
pregame detail
No one's gonna break in for the opener.
was pretty easy,
Yeah.
but it was cool because like we would relieve each other. We give each other like, all right, you got an hour for lunch, and then like everybody would get like an hour or whatever, and then you go to the show and you're plenty rested and whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was an awesome job. Like it was very social too. Like we were all like pretty tight knit, and when the Sublime came and they had the mosh pit, we all backed each other up and had to tackle a few, and it was like a lot of drugs and whatnot.
I think it was
It's still fun.
like 3 years ago. My buddy and I went to go see Limp Bizkit at Mohegan Sun because tickets were $28 for the pit, and I was like, "Yep."
That's like nickel shot night. I'm like, we're gonna die.
I was so stoked for the pit. I love Limp Bizkit, love them. Older stuff, the new stuff, whatever. But I mean, Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water is one of the best albums ever to exist. So it was so fun because that mosh pit, it was wild. But it's like people have this weird thought of moshes being like this. Oh my god, you're gonna get so. It's like you don't understand. Like no one's actually a pile of garbage in those for the most part. Like if someone falls, typically everyone around you kind of like whoa, picks you up and they're like good, great, and then they shove you back into the pit. Like, but there's always that like hold on, we're not gonna stomp his face into the concrete. We're not, So there is that like respect of it.
Yeah.
Now and again, you get someone that should just
too drunk or whatever, just on drugs.
But it's
whatever.
very rare that you actually get that. And let me tell you, when break stuff came on, best mosh I've ever been in. So much fun.
Well, I will say for the Sublime thing, like when it first started, we would go into the pit and confiscate any drug paraphernalia, and then like after like the first half hour, our supervisor was like, all right, stop doing that, just let them go. And it was crazy because we were just throwing them out in the garbage, like just on the outside of the pit before like the seating,
or they can just go.
So people would like literally like follow us out and just grab it out and put it right in their mouth. I'm like, oh,
well,
man.
After enough beer, you're like,
yeah,
this will kill the germs.
Okay. Or I can remember taking one away and the guy just pulled another one out of his pocket. Like ready to go. I'm like, okay.
Well, because he knows, he's like, at least 2 of these are getting taken from me, so let's pack 9. Then we're guaranteed.
And I will also say drugs are bad. Don't do any drugs. I only do alcohol. That's it. So yeah. I don't judge anyone that does any other drugs, but I just like, if you're a kid listening to this, don't do it.
Well, yeah, sure. I also wouldn't encourage kids to drink beer, but
right. Yeah, I'll do that.
As an adult, hey, I'll do. Well, just weed, I guess. I'm not gonna do heroin, but yeah, don't do the ones that we control, not the.
Yeah, and the reason why I won't do weed, well, I'm just not into smoking things, but mostly. But the weed thing scares me because it can trigger schizophrenia.
Can it really?
Yeah, and I just don't want to try. I don't want to like be like that. Oops! And now I hear voices for the rest of my life. Yeah,
interesting.
The psychedelic part of it or whatever, especially
psychedelics,
especially edibles. Yeah, like pot edibles, like that's like
Is that considered a psychedelic?
It does. I don't know.
It does some weird
People
stuff.
have explained it very well, like doctors that I've seen, like how it interacts with your brain chemicals and stuff like that, and it can trigger. The big one to me is schizophrenia, and I don't know. I'm just like scared of that. So
I know the only real issue I ever had with edibles was in Maine when it first became legal. Recreational, my Uber driver was selling lollipops out of his Uber, and my buddy and he came up to visit me, and we were in Portland. We were drinking, we were having fun, going to all the breweries, and he's like, "You guys want one?" I'm like, "Sure." I never did edibles in my life up to that point. I didn't realize that 25 milligrams is a lot. So I'm like, "It's a lollipop. You're supposed to eat the whole thing." So we bought 2, and we each had one. By the end of the evening, after many drinks and the lolly, we got back to my apartment, and I remember I laid on the floor, flat on my back, and I felt like it was impossible to move. And I sat there for what felt like a lifetime, explaining how ironic it was that I go to the gym, I spend all this time working out, and I can't lift my own arms up because they're so heavy right now. I think that conversation went on for 4 hours. It was probably 2.5 minutes, and it took so long for me to roll my body over, and I army crawled into my bed, which also felt like it took another 4 hours. Passed out, woke up the next morning. I was like, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was so wacky. Just on the ground, starfishing, going like, can't do it.
Yeah, I have no desire to have that hangover or any of that ever again. Like, drink in moderation. Typically, Monday nights are the one night I actually have one. And it's public and everyone sees it, so it seems like I might be an alcoholic, but it's like, and like, I don't know, we just went 2 weeks in a row with it. We had seltzers, like non-alcoholic bubblies or whatever.
You don't have to explain to me.
I just like, to me, it's definitely not like a need. It's just like, oh, we'll have a beer. And
it's social.
So yeah, social.
If you can control it, it's social. It's I love it. Especially, I mean, I always think of it, for me, I'll consider it a problem when I stop buying like good beer like this. When I'm buying, a 30-pack of Schlitz, if that's even still a beer. When I just need to get enough to get drunk, not I enjoy the flavor. I like the taste of beer. I enjoy it genuinely, because I also like, I don't make cocktails at home. I don't drink wine. I don't even go for cider really. I like the taste of good IPAs specifically. So like, I also just enjoy trying it, especially now. There's so many.
Oh yeah.
The variations are endless. So it's like,
the world is crazy.
It's so cool when you go to a new town. You're like, oh, here's a local brewery. Let's go see what their take on an IPA is.
Yeah.
I like that. It depends. All right. When I went to go see Avril over the weekend, yes, obviously I'm like, let's go, boom, boom. But because it's like, I rarely get time to do that, especially owning two businesses. I don't get time to just be stupid and unwind, knowing that like, I'm in Maine. Even if the shop is on fire, I ain't getting there. So let's send it, baby.
You're still gonna sell that coffee anyway.
It's gonna be cooked. The fire will help. We did that when I first opened.
I wanted you to tell the story again. Do it.
Yeah. So I bought Chubby Dog.
It was Ben's Beans, right?
It was Ben's Beans. So I bought Ben's Beans. With zero experience roasting coffee or owning a business. I was a morning radio DJ in Charlottesville, Virginia when COVID hit. Got canned and was like, what am I going to do with my life? Because radio also at that time radio loves to fire people and not rehire people anyway, and COVID was an excuse for them to go, oh, we're making a lot of things automated or Ryan Seacrest, and they did. So a lot of gigs also just never came back. So the job market dropped from what was already a difficult job market to begin with to near impossible. So I was like, well, this has always been a dream of mine. Let's make it happen. So we do. Whatever. A couple months are in. Again, I learned how to roast by roasting with the old owners of Ben's Beans 5 times. That's how I learned how to roast the coffee at Chubby Dog. And one of the days, I don't know, so coffee beans, when they're roasted, the skin on them flakes off throughout the roast. It's called chaff. It is a very thin, very light, very dry, very flammable product.
Yeah.
So one of them embered, and it went into our back tray where all the heavier chaff collects, and then you clean it out at the end of the roast the next day. Well, it fell into that, and it caught fire, and I didn't know what to do. So I turned everything off, which is the wrong thing to do, because then all of the airflow that goes outside the vent stops, and it backflows and fills your room. So I called the fire department. They showed up very quickly. They dealt with it, but I was also like, I'm a moron. Let's take advantage of this. So I did a video of me in Chubby Dog with the smoke. I held the camera in front of me and was like, I can't see my face through the smoke. Filled that space up. And then turned everything back on, finished the roast, but the beans that were cooling when that happened, I was like, well, may as well capitalize. So we called it Fireproof Sumatra and sold it as individualized bags, and it was a hit. Some people still have the bag unopened today. They never opened it. They just kept it. Yeah.
Like that whole collector's item thing we were talking about?
They think it is. I'm like, man, it was good back then. It's not now. It's been 4 years. But
yeah,
like, it ain't gonna be whatever you think it's gonna be worth. It's pure sentimental, because I might buy it back for $20, but that's about the most you're getting. But yeah, we smoked that building out and all that backdraft smoke on it. I was like, sure, let's see what it tastes like. And it was really good, actually. It tasted pretty good. But it was smoky. It was
Yeah.
a smoky bean.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I getting back to like, when you're tasting all the beers and stuff like that, and you go to like, I'm that way more with coffee shops now.
Oh, 1,000%.
Problem is, caffeine will get to me. If you don't eat enough, or if you have something with sugar. Sugar and caffeine do not mix well in my system. That's what I can drink, like black hot coffee, dark roast, super caffeinated, like all day without eating, and I'm fine. But whenever you add sugar, and I mean like just as much as it's like in a bagel, like then I will get the shakes and feel sick and have to like chug water to like rally. And
Yeah.
now but yeah, I kind of lean more towards coffee shops now to like go try stuff out and everything. And then the alcohol thing is, I definitely like the beers and wines and like going to wineries and breweries, but like we have young kids, so it's not always an option.
Yeah.
You can duck
get
into
that.
a coffee shop while they're at the toy store or whatever and grab something and then go walk around out now. You can't walk around. It's just
With
not
beer
as
yet?
easy with the beer thing,
You
so.
gotta put it in a secret cup. I know. I get your struggle.
Yeah, and I love how you sell secret cups.
Sure do.
I
Our
am-
tumblers are great for coffee.
and I am a proud owner of
That's
the Mug Club at Chubby Dog.
Yep. And when you bring it in, we do fill it up for the price of a small
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like anytime that the wife and I go like on vacation or something, it's the first thing is I'm on Google and like coffee because I
Yeah.
need to know where I'm going that morning.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure the headache doesn't get me, so I need to know where it is.
Yeah.
And if it's ever a roastery, always go there. Always
Yeah.
go to the one that says "and roasters." Always pick
Yeah.
that one. They're gonna have the best, no matter what, because they're making it.
Yeah,
themselves.
I definitely avoid the chains like
Oh,
the
they're
plague.
garbage.
I'm such a coffee snob. Well, if you put something in front of me, I'm going to drink it. It's like, but if I'm spending
Desperation, yes.
But if I'm spending the money, I'm Googling where I'm going. Even like the other day, I was leaving my Willimantic 2 family that I sold, and I was like, where's a good coffee? And Main Street in Willimantic has Grounded. Yeah, that's exactly where I went. It was really good.
And if not, you can go out. It's a little bit past it, but out in Hebron, Flower Girl Cafe and Bakery,
okay.
they use Chubby Dog.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
So you roast for them?
Yeah, we
Oh,
wholesale.
that's awesome.
Yeah, they use us. So if you're out in Hebron, Flower Girl Cafe, Michelle, you're the best.
Shout out.
Cake Shop Cafe up in Millbury uses us. Where else am I going? We're down at Willimantic Food Co-op in Willie. We're also at Wyndham IGA. You can buy bags there.
Oh, nice.
We roast for Deviant Donut down in Mystic. They're one of us.
Wow.
Kinley High School. They in like whatever their kitchen service is for all the teachers. That's us.
Nice.
I think that's it.
Is the wholesale thing new?
No,
Did you?
I've done it since day
You
one.
never mentioned it before.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
It was one of those things that like I wish I could get more. It's so hard to do because sadly the big ones, your New Englands, your Green Mountains, they're so big and they have a lot of money that they can offer you equipment. If you are exclusive with them, they'll give you an espresso machine. They'll give you a grinder.
Cappuccino machine grinder.
You get all this. What literally costs 50 to 75 grand. They're like, we'll lease it to you, but you can only buy us.
Right.
Which is great because then also you don't have to buy the stuff. But if it malfunctions, call them up. They come fix it for free. It's all taken care of. I cannot offer that. I don't have the money. An espresso, our espresso machine in Chubby Dog in Putnam was $12,000 I had to buy. I can't do that if you have to sign a lifetime contract with me at a minimum of $1,000 an order. Like I can't. It's not a reality for something my size.
Right.
My product is a billion times better. I'll bring it on, Green Mountain. I'll take you all day.
Yeah.
But I cannot offer the things that if you're a new business opening up, they'll save you tens of thousands of dollars. I'll never be able to fight that. So it's like maybe once they're established, I can move in and go like, hey, I know it's been 3 years, so your contract's up. What's up? You got some money flow. You must now because you're still alive. So what do we want to do here?
Yeah.
But it's rough. That's the biggest thing. I tried those first like 2 years. My big thing was I spent 3 days a week on the road. I literally went to every coffee shop I could and just would drop off a small sample of our Bella, our staple, dark roast, decaf, and espresso, all ground for what they're supposed to be. And I
Yeah.
was like, is the owner here? If no, I was like, manager, anyone. And I was like, here's my card. Here's some samples. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
I got Cake Shop Cafe in Millbury, and I got Flower Road Cafe in Hebron. I've given out hundreds of samples. I got 2 out of it.
Wow.
It's so miserable. It's nothing but no's. It's constantly like the Green Mountain just Purgatory, and Purgatory is great. I do like them. They're good coffee, but I just can't. They're bigger than me. I can't compete with it. It sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
But so I do what I can. We offer it as an option. The reality is it's just not. It's so hard to compete with what's already established because of their other perks. You might like my product better, but again, if you leave Green Mountain, you now have to buy all that equipment. You have to you have to just front the money and buy it.
Yeah.
Just so you can switch with me. You already have a customer. Everyone already comes to you.
Right. Yeah.
Is it really worth your thing just to say, well, we get it local now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough.
Right.
I get why they don't,
Yeah.
but it sucks for me. I'm like, screw you. You should have bought me. I still get angry at them, but I'm like, I get it though.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it, but I get it.
Yeah. Now, like, have you tried like selling just the bags of it in like different farmers markets or different
I suck at those.
well, not even like you selling, but like you have it on somebody's shelf, like Heart and Home. I don't know if they sell coffee. Like
Busy Bee Farm sells mine.
Okay.
She has
Nice.
it. I've done farmers markets myself. I stink at them. I don't do well. I don't know why. Everyone comes by. I've done the Putnam one on Kennedy Drive, the one that is a minute and a half from my shop.
Yeah.
I've had dozens of people that are like, I lived in Putnam all my life. I didn't know you were here. I'm like, great. That's great news. That is fantastic. And then they just walk away. I'm like, good to know. Good to know. Never see them again. So
I will say sometimes when you go through the farm, and I love walking through them.
They're the best.
Just, the only thing is you go up and you look at them, and they're not something you're in the market for. Whatever they're selling. Sometimes it can be kind of awkward to just walk away.
Yeah, because they're staring right at you.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, and especially if they're having a tough day, and they're like, no one's buying. Like,
I blame you. At the end of the day, if I've had bad sales at one and you walk away, I go, it's your fault if I go out of business. Specifically, Matt Nord. I'm like, you're the reason we're going bankrupt.
And that, like, I guess I have to get more like cards, community workbench, because then I can be like offering something. Because I always feel bad. I want every small business to get business every day through something I generate. That's why I do this. Like, I love like getting everybody business. I love like if people come on, that's the goal of this. Like, somebody asked me that, like, what's the goal of your podcast? And I was like, well,
Drink beer with friends.
Well, there's that. There's always that, and that'll be what keeps it going forever. But to me, like, if I can get people more business, like, that just means so much to me. Like, I would love to be able to like send all the lenders a buyer every day, or send all the coffee shops like a bunch of people just hanging out in a coffee shop for the day. Like,
we could do like a community workbench secret passcode that if you say it at Chubby Dog, you get 10% off your drink.
ooh,
I could do that,
yeah.
and then I could tell you the numbers. If they're not good, you can take me off that cancel list. If they are good, bump me up, baby.
Are you suggesting that you and I come up with a safe word?
Yes, I want you and I to come up with a safe word. I have a mask in the car with a zipper over the mouth. We'll make it authentic, and if you say it at Chubbs, well, you get your Chubb on for 10% less.
What do you want that word to be? I will say,
You said PG-13, right?
yeah. Ashling Jim said if you mentioned that you saw them on a podcast, they said that they would take, I forget, they had a discount for it for their
Yeah, but
thing.
it's funnier to make someone come in like they have to like the word moist. Like, you make it something like you gotta say a word. That makes it funnier.
Speaking of hacky radio thing.
Oh, 1,000,000,000%. Well, I'm not saying that's the word, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta make them say a word they don't want to say. If you go in there and say Adam's ears are normal
No, no, no.
size, that's
We're hold on a minute. We're making them watch a podcast they don't want to watch
Yes.
first, and then go into a cafe
Yes.
and say a word they don't want to say.
Yes, it's a lot of work, but if you don't do it, you don't support local. So
right.
that's on you. Have fun waiting in a drive-through line and getting your coffee made wrong. Not my problem.
All right. What's the word?
What would the word be? It's because it's got to. An innuendo always makes me happy. So if it's a double
That's
entendre,
like such a pun and double entendre in itself.
yeah. Innuendo could be the word. Oh man, you know what sucks is when you think of an idea but you don't have a follow-up to it, and then we just sit here in silence on the air thinking about it.
We don't have to do that.
No, we do now. It's already been put out there. Now we need a word. Where's your online following? Can't they give us something in the comments?
Hold on. Let me.
What's
Kyle
a good?
usually monitors this.
Hey, Kyle, think of a funny word. Or do we just? I mean,
Come on, go away.
big, moist, chubby dog. Does that count? Or we could just be hacky and just make it. Oh, community workbench. I saw you. And then I go, oh yeah. I'm gonna say that's a no.
Hey, Allie from Allie Mac is Olivia Stoddard said, "My name is cool, okay, guys."
I didn't know what your real name was, Allie, until today. So
Came in the comments because it popped up that someone's got my name out there. Really? So
what does
that
mean?
like, I don't know.
So what is Allie's name?
So when we say Allie on here, it literally pops up on our feed. That's crazy.
Ew, Allie.
Yeah.
Allie.
I don't get those clicks. Oh, I do get those clicks. I don't know. What that means.
Perfect. You're welcome.
This could have been a while ago when I came on.
Well, yeah. We
Proud
were
of you
talking about
guys
Allie,
for
like,
using those SEO skills. So I
search
must be
engine
using
optimization.
Yeah, I must be using some skills. Have no idea.
You couldn't figure out how to use
Kelsey,
the camera system.
Kelsey Elizabeth says, "Have them say I'm so moist."
You heard it.
I'm so moist. Thank you, Kelsey
Yep.
Elizabeth.
All right. For the rest of this week, if you go into either location of Chubby Dog and you say, "I'm so moist,"
Hi, everyone. This episode of the Community Workbench podcast is proudly sponsored by JG Creations LLC. It is an
womp womp.
My hand hit the play button on
You're recording.
No.
Why does that shut off microphones?
It goes from the microphones to the pre-recorded stuff in the mixer.
Well,
So.
then you missed what you get if you say "I'm so moist" at Chubby Dog, because I said it over the break. So
now you just have to go in and
you
say,
just have
"I
to go
am
in and say
moist."
"I'm so moist," and you'll
And it-
get what you get. Who knows?
This is like 2 coffee beans. Here, chew on these.
We actually just have old sink water. We just throw it at you and we go, "You sure are." That's the whole thing. Yeah, go in. You say the phrase "I'm so moist," and we'll give you 10% off your coffee or your non-alcoholic drinks. How about that? That's the easiest way to do it. I will tell my staff when I leave to expect 2 people to say, "I'm so moist" this week.
Well, Kimberly Suzanne said, "Matt, Steve just tried texting Matt a word to you and randomly texted the wrong Matt." Oh, so that didn't come to me.
So that was a pointless.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, something happened that you weren't involved in. Just thought you should know.
Let me see. I do have. Oh, Steve said moist.
Okay, so we're all hacks.
Yeah. I don't know.
We've already put it out there. If it's "I'm so moist," you
Yeah.
say the phrase "I'm so moist."
You're
and
gonna get some sorts of discount.
you
or,
get 10% off your
Oh.
non-alcoholic
Oh,
coffee
okay.
beverages.
Let me hit the.
Yeah, yeah. You're supposed to say it when I give the discount.
Well, that's awesome. I love it when we do these collaborations, especially when I have to do very little.
Yeah, you really didn't. All you did was just hit play at the pinnacle part of my explanation for what the discount was.
By accident.
Yeah. As soon as I'm like, "And you're gonna get," and then play.
I'm a podcaster by accident.
You really did whip that play button like you knew what you were going for. You're gonna get. This is Matt Norin. Okie dokie. Thank you.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I wish I sounded that good, but
Well,
is what it is.
yeah. I know it makes me so uncomfortable every now and again. Like I think my customer service voice is my radio voice because like I just I get louder and I do like weird inflections when I talk and I don't notice it until they go, "Oh yeah, you do have a radio voice." I'm like, "Oof. What did I just say to make you say that? I don't like that." It really bugs me.
Kimberly says totally using that at Trivia Thursday.
Ooh,
I
someone
don't.
knows we're doing a 90s pop-up trivia this Thursday because our board game speed dating didn't sell enough tickets. So we have to pivot.
So what is she saying? Like that question of your '90s
No.
trivia will come up?
What
Like
she's
what did we
saying-
say on the podcast? This is definitely 2025. It's kind of
Yeah.
not '90s trivia.
The trivia is going to be who knows what the Community Workbench podcast is? Silence. Kimberly goes, "I'm so moist." It's like one fan. Delightful. Yeah, so this Thursday, we at the gaming bar in Danielson, we are doing a little 90s themed pop-up trivia because we were working with a company called Quirk Events. They do a board game speed dating thing that I was like, that sounds cool. Let's check it out. We sold 4 tickets, 3 dudes, 1 girl. So they typically want 6 of each gender minimum to be a part of to make like an event for
Right,
them worth it
right,
because they got to sell tickets. They got to like
Yeah.
bring so whatever. Yeah. So it didn't sell that. So they emailed me this morning. They're like, "Hey, so," and I'm like, "Nope, I totally get it.
Yeah.
That's fine." And then I'm like, "Oh no, now Thursday's empty." So I was like, "Well, 90s trivia it is. I guess we'll just whip that together tomorrow." So I'm going to put together that. So starting at 7 o'clock this Thursday at the gaming bar in Danielson, we have a 90s themed trivia, which I assume that means she's going to be at, and will
Nice.
use the phrase, "I'm so moist," to get 10% off a non-alcoholic drink.
That makes sense. I will say not to be combined with any other offer, so you don't go
Not
broke.
to be
Because
combined.
if you're like me and you bring in the tumbler, you're already getting the price of a tumbler.
Tumblers don't
for
count.
small.
Don't. I'm a small business. You're a bad person for even trying that.
And I know this is going to give you such an influx of business. I don't want you to go
Yeah.
bankrupt over this. I am moist.
Oh,
thing.
I've been looking up beach houses in Maine since we started talking about it. So I'm just saying, you better have the outreach I think you have, because mortgages up there are pretty expensive when you go see the waves.
We've said it before. Smash that like button. And
Yeah. Hit that bell, say you're moist. It's the whole drill.
invite your friends to the page.
Yes.
That's like the big thing. That's really what like gets people to like follow, is when we have guests that actually invite all their friends from Facebook to like or follow the page.
Yeah, I'm getting blown up. Kelsey's she's the one that owns the craft collective upstairs
Yeah.
at Jubs. That was
Yeah. So did you tell people you were coming on here?
No.
So she was listener before?
She's organic. You have an organic follower?
Yeah.
Or maybe I did tell her. Maybe. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But no, she's listening nonetheless. You're getting engagement online.
Yes.
You're getting all the things.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, dude, this is awesome.
Always fun.
I really appreciate coming down here, filling in when you can, and
I'm happy to be your last call. Whenever you need me.
I figured out, like, I kind of broke that algorithm where I put everybody on the same chat that's on the cancellation list, and be like, "Who first one to say I'm in gets it."
Fight for it, guys. Come on. Seriously, fight for it.
And then we had nobody. Everybody responded that they were busy,
Like,
so then I had
hey,
to,
Adam.
so then I had to text you directly, like, "Hey, did you check your DMs lately?" No.
And then I open it up and there's 30 messages. I'm like, oh, hey, look what I'm a part of.
So yeah. So then, but thanks for coming out.
Yeah, always, man. I
A
love
lot
this.
of fun. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Hold on, I have a slide for this.
Yeah, I got plugs too. What are you doing?
Oh, go ahead, plug away.
Yeah, June is a busy month. We got a lot of cool events going on at mostly the gaming bar in Danielson. So like I said, this Thursday, a couple days from now, we got 90s trivia. This Friday, the 6th, we have we're calling it Chubby Dog Unplugged. So we have a couple of our local metal bands, Neurotic and Cujo. They're coming in to do an unplugged version of their stuff. They're phenomenally. I like hardcore music in general, but their unplugged stuff is really great because everyone hears like the stuff and they're like, ugh. But they all have great actual singing voices and they're very talented instrumentally. So Friday we got that going on at the gaming bar. No cover. Come on in. Just check it out. Have fun. The 13th, next Friday, we have a D&D roll the dice for a drink, little fundraiser that we're going to do. I don't have all the details of where the money is going, but it is going to be for charity. It's our local D&D group, Dice and Decaf, that we have every Tuesday and Thursday at Danielson and on the weekends in Putnam. Check them out on Instagram, Dice and Decaf. They're really great. Ren is our DM. She's doing fantastic. But basically, in like the Dungeons and Dragons spirit, we're gonna have a list of drinks, numbered 1 through 20. You'll roll a d20 die. Whatever the die is, that's what you're drinking when you order it. So just a fun little take on that. And again, it'll go for a good cause. So it's a fun time if you're a nerd. The 20th, we will be closing early actually on that Friday. One of my friends and staffers, Shannon, got engaged recently. So hey, Shannon, she's hosting her engagement party at Chubby Dog. Nice. So we're gonna close early for that because she's awesome and we like helping her. The 21st, it's a Saturday. We are doing a drag karaoke takeover. So it's Pride Month, so we got some of our drags from the drag show last month coming back, and we're gonna do some weird karaoke stuff with them. So that'll be a good time. That's the 21st, and then on the 27th we have a full-on drag show again. Last time it was so packed. It looked like, in Hoarders where you go in their house and to get around, it's just a path full of, it's just garbage everywhere, but there's a path.
Yeah.
It was that, but with people. It was nuts. We've never been that busy. So it was insane. So if you do plan to come to this drag show, I would get there very early. It was to a point where we actually looked like a club in a city where we had people outside waiting to come in. It was insane. So that's the 27th of this month at Chubby Dog Gaming Bar.
And how dare you call it garbage? Those are collectibles. We already went over this.
I forget those newspapers with a dead cat from the 60s are truly going to be worth something at some point.
Or every Butterfinger wrapper you've ever owned.
They're from the 90s to today. That's insane. Okay? It just shows the difference in the font they used for their name. Oh, that show makes me yell at the TV so hard. I can't stand it. I hate it.
I get it. I've met hoarders before, and it's definitely part of that whole mental illness thing. And
you want to collect garbage, leave me out of it. That's fine. Do you? When it's animal hoarding, you're a garbage human, and your life means nothing to this planet. You should not exist. That's so horrible.
Yeah.
To do it to dogs, cat, all that people that got NECOG, the shelter now so packed full of animals. Yeah. You're a useless human being. You have no value to the world. I don't know how you do that to hundreds of animals in your house and think, I do it because I love them. No, you don't. You're disgusting.
Well, yeah. Hopefully it starts out as something like humane and loving, and then mental illness gets the best of them. So it is.
You don't get a pass to me.
Yeah. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, hopefully it always comes from the heart. It just, it's just one of those things that
kills me.
People try, they fail, and it's very tough. And I'm imagining your charity that you're donating to will probably have something to do with animals usually.
Probably. Most everything we do does. NECOG has a big place in my heart just because that's where Bella came from. The chubby dog herself. I adopted her from there with no information on her. They took her out of Willimantic. They're like, dog fighting of some sort. We think bait dog, and doesn't like cats. I'm like, okie dokie. And that was it.
Yeah.
And our journey began. And now she has 2 coffee shops in her honor. So NECOG means a lot to me. So I try to do what I can when I can. If you want to make a donation, they're on Route 12 in Dayville, right by where all the school buses park, like past Burger King. Yeah. Just go down there like you're heading towards Kilnley High School. It's on the left. It's that weird little shanty-looking building that doesn't look like it should have 300 animals in it, but it does because of animal hoarders. So donate what you can. They always need cleaning products like detergent and like sprays, bleach, not so much blankets anymore, food. both wet and dry. You can get adult. It doesn't have to be puppy. It doesn't matter. They have a lot of puppies, but it they don't care.
Nutrition's nutrition at this point.
Food's food
for
when
sure.
there's hundreds to be fed.
Yeah.
Or just go make money. Just bring money. It's
Yeah.
still they'll figure out what they need and buy it when they need it.
Yeah.
So check out NECOG. Help them all you can. Do what you can. It's not their fault they're in that shelter. So
Right.
let's pull together as a community and help
And
them out.
Shout out to the people in NECOG that do so much with so little.
It's
and,
insane.
They definitely don't get enough credit for what they do.
Sure don't. So help them out. Do what you can.
Mm.
Everything is something.
All right. You good? Got all the plugs?
I think so.
Cheers,
dude.
buddy.
Thank you for the invite.
You're absolutely welcome. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hold on. There we go. I got the fancy slide
You sure do.
procured by Kyle. And shout out to Kyle for helping me through this one from a remote place because he had to be with his family today, which is totally understandable. Hopefully everything goes well for his family, and he'll be back next week. The Community Workbench families are also kicking off their campaign, their Be the One campaign. It was started by American Legion in efforts to stop veteran suicide. If you know a veteran, call them. Be the one to check in on them. For more details, visit betheone.org. Hang on. There we go. Next week, join us Monday night at 6 when we interview Amy, the owner of CrossFit Underdog Union, located at 146 Main Street in Danielson, Connecticut, right next door to Chubby Dog. So definitely do that. And thanks for watching. As always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, get a coffee local, donate local, especially NECOG
Mm-hmm.
and the food pantries that need it. Have great days all.